GG! The Mouthful Podcast is brought to you by GoodGame.rock, the most welcoming gaming community on Facebook. Visit us at www.goodgame.rocks.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
But you know, body.
Making pancakes. Making pancakes.
And we are back. Wait, that's not how I start.
Nope.
Fucking hell. Hold on.
See?
Wait. I can't do this without my glasses. Hold on, let me get my.
And knowing the action. Yeah, get the good glasses and get the number right.
Oh, I got the number right. I got it right in front of me.
290? Oh, yeah, I guess it is 290.
Is your night, bro? Where's that from?
Mhm.
Tonight is your night, bro.
No idea.
Damn it, man. Where's Dark when you need him?
I know. I ask that myself every morning.
Really?
It's like, man,
man.
this day could use a dark.
It can use some dark, yes.
They could use some dark. We could also use some dark in our lives.
For sure.
Which
for
is
sure.
kind of ironic for his name. His name is Dark, and he kind of brightens up everybody's day.
Brightens up everything, dude. Whenever he messages, I don't get a chance to freaking respond, but whenever he messages, I'm just like, I didn't see what he's saying. Oh, Dark says something. Go in there. My only problem is when he has these furries. You know what I mean? That's kind of like, okay, all right. Now
His
I don't
furries.
even. Yeah. He's got the
And we suddenly completely buried the guy for all our. I hope this is getting edited because we will not
Nope.
hear the end of
it
it.
is staying in, sir. It's staying in.
He's actually an avid listener, so
He
I
knows what
completely.
I'm talking about. The moment I said furry, I know he knows what I'm talking about. I'm talking about his Goku statues with and I think it's Goku. I don't know what the fuck anything about Dragon Ball Z. I'm just assuming it's Goku. It's got black hair. It looks like the freaking character, but the
Don't
difference
describe
is
him. Don't describe him.
it has a tail. It's a tail with like fur, and I'm like,
Oh, you're talking about Monkey. I don't know. His name is Monkey.
sure.
His name is not Monkey. All right, Dragon Ball fans. Just cool
I know.
down.
That's all right. That's all right. Calm down, guys.
Calm down.
Nope,
Calm
no
down.
need
We
to,
we're Gen Xers, so we're not gonna know what the hell is the Dragon Balls or anything like that. You know, that's not those weren't the anime we were raised in.
Technically, it was, sir. I mean, realistically, that
Not me.
like the early stuff before Dragon Ball Z. I guess it was just called Dragon Ball at the time. That shit was like
No,
in the late '80s.
Try Mazinger Z, and now we'll be talking.
I know Messenger Z. Yes, I know of it because of you, because I wasn't it. I was more of a G-Force guy, but
Oh, G-Force was great. Yes, or Tatsunoko, whatever the real name is.
Oh, I don't know what it was. It's G-Force. I don't care. I was raised with it on Channel 11, and G-Force. That's what we're calling it. Damn it.
Yes,
And I lost you.
and I'm
clearly,
hoping
because you're
that.
not responding to me at all. Oh, okay.
All right, let's get this show on the road.
Welcome back, guys. This is Arnaldo, aka Mad Dog, and that is David, aka Dream Twister, and this is the real episode 290 of GG's The Mouthful Podcast.
GG! Hold on.
Oh, dear.
GG! There you go. That sounds
There it
better.
is. Much better.
Thank you.
A little bit too much turkey, sir. I know. That gets stuck in your throat. And it's like, man, what the hell?
I made it. Perhaps it might be the lack of it because I made it a plan to not eat turkey. You know, I wasn't pleased with what I saw on my Facebook newsfeed for the last 2 days. It's been nothing but naked turkeys, and let me tell you. Raw turkey. I don't know how you season it or how you. I don't know. I don't know whichever way you do the thing. Naked turkey or raw turkey. That's not a nice picture to pose. Like it doesn't look like anything savory or like yummy. No, none of that. It just looked like I don't know.
It's the Thanksgiving version of the elf on the shelf. It is really what it is. You know what I mean? It's like
Oh,
everybody has to share their turkey before and after. I did the just after. I think I shared the before with you gentlemen, but not the turkey because it was in a container. It was literally in a large bucket full of broth and ice and a bunch of seasoning and spices.
sexy.
Yes, extremely. But I didn't show you the turkey. I just, that's it. There you go. It's in there. It's in there. Believe me, it's in there.
I don't. I mean, I was gonna say I don't know what the obsession is with turkey. I mean, duh, it's a tradition. Yes, I get it, but I don't. I don't like turkey. I mean, I will eat turkey, but I like ideally, like if you want to prepare a delicious meat, the last thing I'm thinking is turkey because I find it like it's. I don't know.
Turkey is
dry
probably
or
the
doesn't have a
hardest bird to really get right. I pat myself a little back here because I do tend to, but it's not my recipe for the record. It is Alton Brown's recipe, which is probably my favorite chef of all time. I always loved his show because he always kind of broke down the science behind the stuff. Anyway, that's beside the point.
Anthony Bourdain must be rolling in his grave right now by what you just said, sir. I'm just saying.
I mean, sure.
You just call him
He's my favorite. He's my favorite traveler and foodie, sir. Is way. Nothing. I've never had his food, and he's never done a food show.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
gotcha.
Alton Brown, on the other hand, shit, I follow him on YouTube. He's just too freaking awesome. Anyway, that's beside the point. The point is that his version of his turkey recipe is probably the most sought out recipe ever. Like literally type Alton into Google, and chances are Alton Brown turkey may be the first thing that pops up.
Let me
Let's test that out. Just Alton, Alton.
Alton Brown. Yeah, there you go. Guys, I apologize for. I'm not alone in the studio. I have my lovely wife actually trying to conduct some work. We share our office space, so
no worries. We welcome the background noise.
Yes. So if you guys hear a lot of like clacking of keyboard throughout the night, I do apologize and send all complaints to Jither Cabrito at something.com.
I was gonna say, so damn, you're really gonna give it an email? Shit. Anyway, the point is, his version of it is really good. You put it in broth. The broth is spiced with lots of salt. Pepper, ginger, a little bit of sugar and all that, and it just sits there in the bucket. And we did it for 2 days. We started 2 days before, and then the day of, I say you take it out, wipe it down, give it a nice little glaze of oil on the top, and because all the meat has already absorbed the flavor from the broth, and you just cook it out, man. And then you create this little breastplate of foil, right? And you put it right on the breast. Well, you let it cook for a little bit, and then you put it right on the breast. And then you put it back in, and that protects the white meat from drying the fuck out, because that's the worst part. You know what I mean? The white meat is the worst part because it's the driest. That's the reason why gravy is even included. You know what I'm saying? It's like, to moisten this shit up a little bit here.
Yes.
I hear you though, bro. I hear you. I think we need to move away from turkey. I think it's time to maybe bring chicken. I mean, well, chicken's every weeknight. What else can we do?
Yeah.
But game hen. I don't know. Something,
Put a couple of T-bone steaks there and have a night,
I mean, shit.
Or bring the other white meat. I don't know.
The other white pork.
Exactly, because we know the Latinos don't have enough of it on Christmas.
For Christmas, I have moved off of pernil because
of pernil.
I've moved off of
pernil. Oh, so you're okay with the turkey, but pernil is where you draw the line.
I'm saying we need to move off of turkey. That's literally what I just said. We need to find something. Maybe I'll make pernil. No, because pernil happens in a lot. My sister made a pernil yesterday. You know what I mean? So
yeah, that sounds legit.
No, what I'm doing now,
proper festivals.
Yeah, she didn't do turkey. She did pernil. And a chicken, yes, a whole chicken, and which is, they were calling it the mini turkey, and then a bunch of stuff on the side. I couldn't tell from everything else, but No, man, doing prime rib, bro. Prime rib for Christmas.
Oh yeah.
That's the
All
move.
right,
my friend.
that's stepping it up. Okay,
Yeah,
and
that is the move.
I'm on board there. I'm on board.
And we have a winner.
And yes, yeah, I like ribs, but lately I've been finding out that I am starting to get a particular taste, for them to where, like before it used to be like, oh, it don't matter as long as they're ribs, I'll eat them. But now I'm finding like, oh man, this like, I don't know if it's like, oh, this is just your typical, ribs with barbecue, and that they just taste like the barbecue itself, and the meat has no other flavors. Like, I don't, but then again, I I gotta be honest, that's my general go-to when I go to restaurants that serve ribs. That's usually what I go for.
I have well, this is the prime rib. So this is actually, it have either 2 or 3 bones, but I'm gonna try to get the 3-bone one because they tend to be expensive. But the majority of it is it's like a rump roast. It's a beef rump roast, but it's attached to the rib.
Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Yes.
And so yeah, so I'll end up cutting it up, slicing it like a fucking panini and all that. But in the end, it's just beef, but it's served perfectly medium, sir. Perfectly medium. It's just like, oh, I can't wait, sir. Anyway,
See?
happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Happy Turkey Day, everyone.
Yeah, happy last turkey. I think I think we agree. Next year, we're boycotting turkey. Hashtag boycott turkey. I'm starting that on Twitter right now, guys.
Damn.
Right now, we're starting that.
We're just gonna be responsible for killing their tradition. And
Traditions are made to be broken.
We're gonna
move on from
enhanced. How about that?
There you go. Yeah, you see, this is why you're here. Love it.
We're gonna create a bunch of enemies out of this one. I can tell you right now.
Honestly, I feel like we're gonna gain more than we'll lose. I mean, we'll probably lose some people going, "What the fuck?" I mean, in the end, this is an American holiday, so the rest of the world, don't even do turkeys on.
They're gonna be like, "It's called Turkey Day."
Yeah.
No, it's fucking not.
Sure the hell is.
What are you gonna do?
Did you know it's 400 years old? The celebration, like literally yesterday, November 25th.
Oh, that it was 400. Well, what a great time to close it on the turkey.
Exactly.
Stand.
It's like, that's it. We ended with 400 years of turkey. We don't need it anymore.
There you go.
November 25th, 1621 was the first.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
That tells me that we should make it. You know what? Let's make it a branded holiday. This is make it Happy Thanksgiving, brought to you by Popeye's Chicken.
No. We're not having any sponsorship.
I mean, listen, if KFC owns, and this is like literally no joke, and you know this for a fact, that it owns the holidays, the Christmas in Japan. KFC,
it does.
Like the weirdest and most like, you literally have to pre-order your Thanksgiving dinner. Pre-order it, son. Otherwise, you're left out. So, and you have to, it's depending on location, it's gonna be, it could be a month, weeks in advance that you have to make sure that you do the the down payment on it. But yeah, no,
that's crazy.
I say if they could do that with KFC, I mean, it just we should make it with the better chicken.
Yeah, well, I guess you're right. Yeah, Popeyes is a better chicken. I agree. Well done, sir. I think we did good work. We're recreating Thanksgiving for next year.
That's right. Right. I mean, everything is changing in this world.
It sure is.
Post-pandemic world. So why not?
Why not evolve Thanksgiving? I like it.
Let's be more inclusive on Thanksgiving. Let's not just be about the turkeys. That's not being inclusive. So let's just. I say if you want that chicken.
I was literally scratching my head going, inclusivity? How are we doing this? That's just about the turkeys. You're right. Yes. Even the turkeys are like, can you please leave us alone? The dreaded day. And most of them are young turkeys. FYI, guys.
Yeah.
The ones that we end up eating are the young ones. Oh dear Lord.
Yeah,
We're all basically,
there's not enough of them are made for for the crazy consumption. So I say, ni una vida más. No
yes.
more turkeys.
Agree.
There
100%.
you go.
All right, guys. Well, if this is your first time listening to the show, please first go to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there. Of course, that takes you right to our Facebook group. And please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. What we normally do is first we go into what we have been up to, move on into various news items, and then we finish with our hot topic of the week. This week's hot topic: is it time for good video game adaptations? Is it happening?
I have a feeling that I know where this might be coming from.
It's possible, but we're gonna go into it a little bit later. And what it's about, basically, we're gonna take a look at some of the upcoming projects and maybe guess which will fail miserably and which will actually find its footing. Chances are most will fail miserably.
Because they're still video game adaptations at the end of the day, and directors don't know how to do those.
Exactly, and there is a curse apparently that has been said.
I mean, the source material is literally written for them. All they gotta do is just obviously adapt it to the big screen. But evidently, that's just too much for Hollywood to do.
It could be.
They need to Hollywoodize it by doing this is going to be the Halo movie, but it's not going to have Master Chief. or
it will have Master Chief, but he will be in masks because somebody asked for that.
Yes, let's make a movie about Uncharted, except it's going to be when he was a kid.
Yeah, exactly. And also, I have a nice little top 10 list of the most, or I guess the best ones so far. Video game adaptation. Curb your enthusiasm here, guys. The list is really from the bottom to about the middle. There's very, let's just say, don't expect too much out of this top 10 list of what has been done so far.
I would say I would say usually my favorite video games movies are not the ones that are tied to a particular video game. It's just they have other ways of celebrating the hobby in the industry. So
yeah, I agree. That's usually the case.
Yeah.
All right, let's go ahead and start with what we have been up to, Mr. Santos David.
Ooh,
what have you been?
Well,
I'm using your surname first. Yes.
Yes, we're going Japanese.
Yes.
Well, I've been told that I tend to get a little extensive on the on the gamings that I've done. So I'm not gonna bore you with details on this ones because I have already spoken to great length about them, and none of them are new.
Well, just mention them real quick. At least rapid fire them.
So I've been playing Halo Infinite, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Forza Horizon, and Microsoft Flight Simulator. Wow. Now, the reason why I've been playing those 4 games is because I told you guys last week that I was actually replacing my monitor, and I was getting a 32 by 9. What's that? The ratio? The ultra wide
wider
monitor.
than the wides, wider than the regular wide ones.
Yeah. So I figure maybe after about a week of usage, maybe give a take on what it feels like to play some games. I tested a few more, but I haven't really put time on them because hearing at first notion you think, man, having a monitor which is the equivalent of having 2 27-inch monitors put together with no bezel in the middle must be like super immersive, and that's gotta be like awesome, man. That's gotta be like this the dream setup, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm here to say that so far the experience has kind of left me a little bit underwhelmed, to be honest with you.
Oh.
Yeah, I to the point that what I'm considering, like, I'm wondering, like, this resolution, the resolution of this monitors, we can't say it has a lot of pixels because of the length of it, but we can't really call them like 4K because it still doesn't have that precision, that pixel density. So they're still considered 1440p screen. The resolution on this
Still
one
a
in
good
particular.
resolution, though. I mean,
Oh
it's
yeah,
not-
yeah, absolutely. That's it's more than 1080p. But remember, we're playing games on our consoles are 4K. Usually, you go 1080p or 1440p when you want to have the best performance for, like, what do you call it? Like Counter-Strike and those kind of esports type games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but you don't get a monitor this size for esports. I 100% will tell you it's not gonna cut it. You still, it's for esports, you still better staying at 1080p if you want, like, the best performance. So anyway, the thing with this one, the resolution is 5120 by 1440. So again, imagine two 27-inch monitors, put together with no bezel in the middle. And the experience that I've been having with it is that some titles, like the ones that I mentioned, I mentioned Halo Infinite, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Forza Horizon, Microsoft Flight Simulator. The experience is great. It's like the games recognize the resolution and it adapts to it. Like, you don't have to do any, like, hacky thing where you have to go into, like, the systems, the INI files, and try to change, try to hack a way into, like, making the game recognize the resolution. No, those games work. And also it's an HDR monitor, which you're just starting to see them on computer monitors nowadays. Obviously HDR has been in TVs for quite some time.
Yeah.
Right. So, as my first HDR monitor, I can tell you the implementation of PC HDR per se, it's not great. Unfortunately, I mean, excuse me. Woo, all right. I can tell you graphically, when it works, obviously you see, instantly notice, this game is running at HDR, and it looks, it looks great. Obviously, high dynamic makes the colors pop, your brights come up very bright, and your darks and all that. It makes it, there is a tangible difference when you play in an HDR game versus a regular. I would say, however, that the implementation is kind of poor because not all games are, HDR, and some games recognize, oh, you have an HDR monitor, I'm going to present you at the very least the option. The best implementation will be like, oh, you have an HDR, I recognize you have an HDR monitor. Boom, the game is on HDR. The second best implementation, and it's and it could be problematic, is games that have a HDR toggle, but it doesn't, like, turn it on by default. It doesn't recognize that the hardware is there, so it doesn't recognize by default. So you have to, like, make sure that on the settings, like, hey, is this an option in this game or not? And then there are the ones that say they support it, Assassin's Creed Valhalla, but in reality, it's not doing anything. And that's disappointing because I have been playing a lot of Assassin's Creed Valhalla lately, and because it's a game that I quite enjoy.
Did you beat it
And
yet?
yeah,
Oh,
I
you
did.
Okay.
Yeah, it's something weird. That game has a loop that has me entertained at the very least. Like I'm not trying to make. Well, right now I am trying to play the DLCs, but I'm not deep enough on any of them to
talk
tell
about
you,
it.
yeah, to talk about it just yet. But I am going that route, and I'm happy that I have more Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I really, really like that game. Which is weird to say, even to say of an Assassin's Creed game. It's like, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is, Dark Souls or anything like that. As far as me liking, but it's still an enjoyable, like, just sit back and just play your way through without having to think too much.
Mm.
Anyway, that game has fake HDR because it does say it does have a toggle, and you put it there, but everything looks hazy and like washed out, and I'm like, this cannot possibly be the real implementation of it because it looks substantially worse than normal. But I don't have that problem when I play it on the PS5. On the PS5, it knows, hey, HDR TV, boom. It gives me it plays in HDR and it looks crisp and clear and the bright and awesome. So unfortunately, not here. Another thing I'm noticing is that some games really don't like it says that they support the resolution, like it'll present you the option. But when you when you try to play them like that, they really don't like it. Dark Souls Remastered, unfortunately, was one of them where I put the game, I put the game, and it's not like they become super unplayable, but yeah, I would call it unplayable in the sense of you see the world, and the world is like completely expanded. Like you have your whole field of view is covered with gameplay basically, but then you try to open a menu and they're all like messed up, like elements of the menus will be completely off. Yeah, terribly so. Another example of games that do right when it comes to like ultra wides is, especially if there's a game that allows you to change the UI elements. That's a big plus. I was pleasantly surprised to find out that was the case with Halo Infinite and with Forza Horizon, perhaps with others, but I haven't tested them. But they do let, because the problem you have with such a wide monitor is some elements of the UI will be on the lower left, and other elements on the lower right or on the upper right or upper left, and you have to like literally move your neck to see from one to the other, whether it's no longer enough to just move your eyeballs. Like you literally have to move your head to see that corner of the screen, and that's not like super ideal for a bunch of games, especially those that have that depend on like speed. Like before I realized Forza, when I was playing Forza, without realizing that it had the option to move like the map and some other UI elements. And it was kind of vain because I'll take my eyes off the road to see how fast I was going, for example, or if what's the next curve it was gonna be. And before I realize it, I'm eating that curve already because it took time. So when it lets you move them closer, like to your peripheral vision, to the center vision, I would say to the center cone of your vision, it's a lot better because you still have the immersion of having the game world on the sides on your peripheral vision, but you're not missing information that is important. Destiny 2 is another game that does a good job. I don't think this one allows you to move the elements, but it automatically knows that, hey, regardless of what monitor you have, this is the map and the bullets that you have in your gun or whatever, all the UI elements should be fair within viewing, that you don't have to move. Yeah, that you don't have to move your neck. So that was a good one. And then Flight Simulator, like it's a fantastic feeling. When you're flying the planes and you have all that
real estate to look at.
Yeah. Except that now, because he needs to push more pixels, now it runs more like crap. So you have to lower to lower some graphical settings to make that game run 60. I was able to eventually to get it to run that 60, but yeah, it's it depends on the games that you're running. Most of them that I've tested, they have run 5, because it's still considered 1440p. It's just adding a few extra pixels, so maybe a loss of like 5 frames or 10 frames, but from 60 to 50 you notice that those 10 frames missing.
I'm sure.
And I've used it for work. I've used it for general browsing. It's a ridiculous overkill if you're just using it for browsing, because
I was gonna say you can browse on your little phone.
Yeah, and it's most websites are not designed for that, to have all that real estate. So they're gonna look funky to where everything's gonna be skewed to the left, and suddenly like you're looking at the left side of the menu. I mean, I don't browse like that. Like I will have my browser open and I'll still put it in the middle, because that makes sense.
Yeah, of course.
But like I was noticing, for example, last time when I was editing the podcast, like I almost had the entire view of the timeline was there. And I gotta imagine, like, to edit videos, that must be like super awesome, as well. So it was for productivity, they're really good. It's got it. But I will say it depends on what type of productivity you do, because even with HDR and all the color gamut and the refresh rates, 240 hertz refresh rate, which is insane.
Yeah.
But even with all of that, like there are other monitors that are better suited for like color, like heavy color dependent workloads, like photo editing, for example, and stuff like that. So it depends on the type of workflow. But for those of you that are curious, the model that I got is Samsung Odyssey G9. I am replacing it though. I am replacing it with the Neo, with the G9 Neo, which is like a later revision that came out this year. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm noticing that when the screen is dark, if you have like a simple, it could be the smallest, and it could be the mouse cursor. Actually, it literally could be just the mouse cursor on a black screen. Instead of just lighting up the mouse cursor, like suddenly you see this whole banding of light coming,
like an aura around it.
Yeah, not just around it. You see a column, depending on the location.
Wow, okay.
It's almost like a column of brightness compared to the darkness of the rest. And there's a reason. This monitor has I think they call dimming zones, so it only has 10 dimming zones, which is ridiculous. It's like it's like creating like the ultimate freaking concept car and putting like hubcaps on it or some shit like that. It's like it makes no sense. Like, why would you do that? Why would you have like, the refresh rate and the color gamut and all that craziness and just put 10 demon zones? You're killing it whenever you go to anytime that there's a dark, and on gaming it happens a lot, when the screen is dark and it just has like an element, like a logo or something common, like a typical flash screens from games. It looks horrible. It looks terrible. I mean, enough that I was like, no, this is almost a deal breaker because my older monitors didn't do that. And now the Neo one,
yeah, that just doesn't look good.
it looks terrible for an HDR monitor. You expect your darks to look like, it's not gonna be OLED. It's not gonna be like inky black, like perfect black, but it should look, it should not look so bright on those areas. I'm telling you, it is like I could if I take a picture, the camera will easily grab it. Like, you will notice it of how bad it is. The Neo has 2,000 demon zones, so they went from 10 to 2,000 to address the issue. Yeah. So that should tell you, like, hey, they kind of maybe they kind of forgot to add them, but that was a poor choice. And in less than a year, they were already releasing a later model. So
yeah, an update.
Problem with them, model. An updated model, exactly. The problem with them is that they've also have not been. They also have not been very like the monitor has some quality issues, which I'm concerned also. I'm thankful that I'm buying from Amazon, because with Amazon I can, like, if there's an issue, hey, they'll take care of it.
They'll take it back.
Yeah. So anyway, that's the reason I'm not sat down to play anything in particular. Oh, another game that I tested, and this one I was highly impressed and kind of disappointed that I have already played it, and that was Marvel's Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, Guardians of the Galaxy.
It is, dude. You imagine that first stage, right? That is very pink and colorful and like beautiful, and it's like all that screen, all that screen. It looked awesome. It looked amazing. But at the same time, it's almost like, well, it's kind of losing a little bit of its cinematic feel, because there's no movie that plays at that not resolution, but that 32 by 9.
Yeah.
At that ratio.
Is it stretched? No. Is it stretching it? No.
No. It's not stretching in. No. If it stretches, like, there have been a couple games that it does that, and I'm like, nope, this is a fail. This, I have to play the game at the normal resolution with black bars. That was that was the case of Dark Souls 3, but I kind of knew it because Dark Souls 3, it didn't, like, it had the black bars on my 16 by 9. So I'm sorry, 21 by 9. Thank you. The 16 by 9 obviously covers the whole thing, but on a 21 by 9 it already had the black bar. So now on a 32 by 9 it has even more noticeable black bars, but like, that's fine. It's like, I expected that to be the case. Tales of Arise, same thing. It's not gonna give you more than 16 by 9. I almost consider actually getting instead of getting a ultra wide screen, just getting a smaller, like 49-inch OLED, like LG OLED TV, and using that as a monitor, which a lot of people have actually done, and it works, but it's kind of hassly. Let's just say.
Gotcha.
It works, but it's not a computer monitor. So even though it's 120 hertz, it has NVIDIA G-Sync compatibility, and it looks like a fucking dream. It kind of looks weird. Oh, and Windows it still doesn't know how to handle HDR because you have to like toggle it on or off sometimes manually because some videos look like crap. So
Wow.
that's what I'm saying for the content consumption. Until that shit is automated, I wouldn't say it's ready for prime time. Personally, some people are okay with that, but I don't like it. I don't like it. So yeah, I will. Maybe I'll tell you if things are different with the Odyssey G9 Neo when I install it, and I have to back this one up and return it back on this huge freaking casket like box that they sent me. Aside from that, I really haven't watched any movies, but I am going to piggyback on the your assessment of a series that you watched very recently to completion, even though I haven't watched it to completion. And that series, of course, is none other than Arcane. League of Legends. What's it called? League of Legends Tale? Or
It's just called Arcane, and then at the very bottom it says a League of Legends Tale or something like that. But it's if you look it up anywer, it just says Arcane.
Just look for Arcane.
Yeah,
guys,
and it's on Netflix, so
it's on Netflix exactly. Guys, I have something to say. Look up Arcane on Netflix. That is not an option. You have to fucking see this. I am having quite a bit of a good time with it. I think just like you mentioned on the last podcast or the one before it, the art style of this series is fucking gorgeous. It's probably one of the best. Just when you think you watch it, something that, oh man, this looks great. It like this takes it to another level because it's not. I wouldn't necessarily call it anime because it's like it doesn't have that art style. It's more Western than anything, right? Or I could be wrong.
It's actually done by a French studio. Is doing
a French studio? Mm-hmm. Okay, all right, cool. So, yeah, it's not about having. It's animation, but it doesn't look cell shaded. It doesn't have that.
It looks. It literally, and this is a phrase that's thrown around a lot. What is it? Hold on, because now I forgot the fucking phrase. But basically, every frame is a picture. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm sure you heard that particular phrase before, and that's the case here. It's the way it's done. Every frame looks like a portrait. You know what I mean? And it's absolutely.
It's almost like it's almost like it looks like a not oil painting, but like a hand drawn.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess anime will also be considered that, but it's just you got to see the art style to appreciate it. Just pull up the trailer. It looks really really good. It plays superb with the effects and all that. The story, which I am not gonna say anything other than it has kept me in very interested. I wouldn't necessarily say is action heavy. Like this is not, again, I feel like I need to reiterate, this is not anime.
Yeah.
So it's not gonna go to it's gonna get good on the fight scenes and
when there are fights, they are pretty spectacular. But it's not about that.
It's not about that.
It's not about
right.
that.
Yeah, but it doesn't lack. I don't find it lacking too much on that department. It's just that there is a lot of interesting drama. A lot of the part where I'm at is introducing some elements of even like politic play, and I realize that sounds incredibly boring, but hear me out, guys. It doesn't start like that. First of all, it does a good job of setting the stage and setting the world, And once you care enough about the characters and the setting and all that, now it's presenting like new elements, like in a way that it makes it interesting, like Game of Thrones interesting,
Yeah, I was just
where
gonna literally use as an example. People go, "Oh, I don't need a show about politics." I'm like, "But did you watch Game of Thrones? Because if you did, chances are you enjoyed it because of its politics. There was a
yeah,
very political struggle in the background. Yes, there
right.
were battles. Yes, there were demons and dragons and all this stuff.
Hmm.
But the engaging part of it, believe it or not, is that part of it. And so
It's a
I hear
human
you.
struggle.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah.
I hear you, and I feel you're right that it needs to be framed in a certain
Hmm.
way so people don't go, oh, I'm not going to be interested in that. But
Yeah, because
uh,
it's gonna it's it because I like after watching the first episode, like I liked it, but I was like, I like this, and obviously it's the first episode, so I'm not saying anything negative about it.
it's a
It's
setup.
just
Yeah.
like
Mhm.
yeah, right. I don't know. I was just a little concerned because they're also longer episodes that you will normally see on this in this series. Turns out that is one of my favorite aspects that I like about it. And I'm not saying just because more is better. I'm saying because the like obviously the I was gonna say the game, but the series needs to set up its world. There's a lot of things that having a 45-minute runtime instead of your typical 30 or 24 um, gives enough time to give the story a proper pace.
Mhm.
Things are not happening at a breakneck speeds just because, well, we need to keep it within a half an hour. I feel like we have enough time to understand motivations of characters or realize where realize a lot of the things that if you edit them more, it would have suffered, or it would have felt weird. I
Yeah,
always come back
it
to
would have
that
been
episode.
missing. Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. I always felt go back to the episodes of What If on Disney Plus, which they were awesome. They were very enjoyable, but because of the time limitation and all that, what they're trying to like, it never felt like they had enough time to set things proper. It was
Mhm.
just like, well, this it needs to be delivered fast. It's almost like you're getting the crib notes of the story they're trying to bring you, and that series is very enjoyable. And I
It
like,
is.
and that was
Yeah.
another one where I really like the animation, but oh my god, it doesn't hold like frigging candle to the animation here on this one. It
Yeah.
is it's just some next, it's just those characters, dude, and you learn to like really love all of them. Like even the freaking even the main villain will have a motivation that you're like, yeah, okay, it's not stupid. This game fuck this series based on the game, it's not taking me in with some dumb story. It's not. I
I like
hate
I
to
like
use
how
the
you said it.
term.
It's not stupid, and it doesn't
Right.
treat you, the viewer, as stupid either. You know what I mean? It says
No.
you're going to figure the little nuances out. So we're going to stick with the main aspects of it, and the main aspects are the characters, and the characters are really really well developed. You
Yes.
know what I mean? Even the side characters. You know what I mean? Which is like,
Hmm.
man, yes, I can't wait for to see more. And you
Yeah.
even mentioned the villain as well. At first, I think probably very first episode, you go, okay, this is a villain twisting his mustache, whatever. But with
Yeah.
as time passes, you start seeing the layers behind him. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Going, oh, this is not just some guy. This is not just
Yeah.
some evil dude who wants to freaking destroy the world. It's
Yeah.
he has an actual purpose, and it makes
Yeah.
sense. And anyone in his shoes would be like, yeah, I'm down with that. So
Yeah,
that's what I love
it
about it. I
is
was
a,
like,
it
yeah,
is an adult, it's an adult motivation. It's
yeah,
not just some silliness of let's just destroy the world for you know reasons.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I really like that. The soundtrack of this
Yes, the
thing
music
is
too. Yeah,
fucking phenomenal. It is so good that I can't, like, I hate the fact that I need to watch this series with Shazam like right by my side, because the moment I start playing something that sounds half interesting, it's no. Tell me the name. I need to get that song. Tell me the name. I need to get that song. And it's so well. Like the opening itself, that the themes, the theme song of it automatically sets the tone. You know,
It does.
and it does in a wonderful way. I think we discussed it was Imagine Dragons.
It is. It is. And yes, it does sound like most Imagine Dragons songs. To be fair,
yes.
But I would argue this may be one of their better ones. You know what I mean? Of that version that they love to do.
Listen, Imagine Dragons have some really good songs. This is a good one also, but let's not discount the things that they have. The contributions to the music have not gone unheard. Even my wife, who's not, she's not into like that type of music, recognizes like, oh yeah, that sounds familiar. It's like, yes, I know, right? Totally. It's the most Imagine Dragon song.
Yeah. It might also be titled Imagine Dragons.
Yes. Yes. But it's really good. It's really good. Yeah. I haven't, I think I want to say, I mean, either episode 5 or 6. I don't binge. So I don't, I because I like to I like to take time and go a couple episodes, maybe 2, maybe 3 episodes, and then just like take it in and think about it. And like,
well, this one was designed to be that way as well, because it was released in 3 episode chunks.
Right.
So it was episode 1 through 3 and that's why they call it Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. And so when it first came out,
I didn't see that. I didn't see the separation. At least now that the whole season is there, I don't like.
No,
like
they haven't separated. Yeah.
It doesn't say like Act 2. I mean, you clearly see the separation. It's not. It's implied, basically. At least now that the way it has it. My wife keeps wanting me to just skip the theme at the beginning.
Music.
Like,
oh no, my wife said the same thing. She's like, why are you? Because it says skip intro. It's like, no.
That is like Netflix. I'm gonna tell you something. Count yourself lucky that I found the option to stop the stupid fucking autoplay that you have. They just want to get everyone hooked into like, oh, let's not even give them a chance to check the credit. Let's just throw them into the next one because we want to keep them hooked. Like, that bullshit annoys me to no end. Usually because the end credits it could have an awesome tune, and it could have actually set the tone. It could actually let you thinking. And also, sometimes I just don't want to fucking go reach out, look for my, I need to go to sleep. I don't want to sit down through another 45-minute episode as much as I would like to. So it turns out that there is a way to go. If you go online on your account,
the account
yeah, you could actually disable that shit. And I did, and it's wonderful. And if I could disable the option to skip intro, I totally 100% would. Like, give me my old Netflix back.
I would too.
Send me
the old Netflix that didn't force shit on me, or it's like no.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not a binger. I will watch. I mean, I will watch several episodes, but I'm not gonna spend an afternoon just watching all the episodes of the seasons. And like, I realize there are people that do, and that's fine. It's just, I can't watch TV like that. It doesn't matter how interesting it is. At some point, my body's gonna want to get out of that of the sofa. It's like, I'm done with 2 good 45-minute episodes of that. Like, I am set for the night. Problem is that I am doing 2 episodes of that, and then I am immediately jumping into Big Bang Theory because I'm enjoying that quite a bit. Anyway, that's pretty much all I've done this week.
Nice. So yeah, I guess I'll piggyback off of that and say yes, I did finish the series. The last act came out on Saturday, and I
Mhm.
literally just paced around the house, waiting for my wife to get off of work so we can start. You know, so that's all I wanted to do. I was like, "Honey, Act Three's out. Act Three's out. We got to watch it now." And
Which is the last 3 episodes, basically.
which is the last 3 of the season. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It has been confirmed that there'll be a season 2. So
Yes.
that's obviously I'm like super down. Like, oh yeah. Um,
Mhm.
but it is definitely, I mean, the best adaptation
Mhm.
of a video game property. Hands down. There's just
Mhm.
it's just the best one. The list that I have later on that will be the top 10. Uh, in its defense, was released in October of this year, so the show hadn't even existed yet. So the new top 10 will be easy. And once I go through that top 10 in the hot topic,
Mhm.
you're gonna go like, "Pff, yeah, there's no way Arcane stands on top easily." But
Yeah.
there's also the funny thing about the top 10 is that it's amazing what's there, and you just go, wow, it's not a lot of good here. You know what I mean? It's like it's like you're on the top 10 almost by default. You know what I mean? It's like so the film was okay. All right, you're third place. How about that? You know what I mean? So anyway, yeah, I absolutely love this show, love the characters, love everything that they're doing. um
Does it make you want to? Does it make you want to like delve maybe into the lore or go to maybe checking out the game, perhaps?
Well, more to come in what I've been playing. But
Oh boy.
honestly, and I want to stress this for everybody. I know nothing of this particular gaming series, and my understanding, even since, is
Mm,
that the game itself, which is League of Legends,
mm,
yeah, there's some backstory to these folks, but none of that's ever in display in the game. There's no side scrolling, whatever. There are some spin offs that have recently been
mhm.
released, which actually I believe, uh, oh gosh, what's the name of Riot Games? They had a maybe an E3 or some announcement at some point that they were really
Mm.
expanding and the show was one of them. The show's actually been 5 years in the making, apparently.
Oh wow.
Um, and excuse me, but they have some other games and stuff like that. So, but the reality is, the lore, don't need to know it to appreciate
Oh,
it, because it's
I don't know anything about
absolutely,
League of Legends.
yeah, yeah.
I know it's a MOBA. And I've never played it. I tried Dota 2. I have never played League of Legends. I haven't, even after watching the series, like I haven't wanted to go and check on it because I'm not a MOBA guy. So, but now that hear you say that there are other projects, it
Yeah,
kind of
there's
got me
actually
curious.
one that Chaos and I were talking about the other day, which is almost literally a copy of Battle Chasers.
Oh wow.
It's a an RPG, very
Uh,
JRPG, turn based RPG. So this one
oh,
obviously will have
wow.
a story, and actually it's already out. It's only $30, and it's currently on my wish list. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump in that at some point. Let me tell you.
Mm,
Then they have some other characters. They're gonna have they're basically just trying to expand that world, League of Legends.
yeah.
What's the Valorant? Valorant is apparently
Mhm.
also within that same world as well. So anyway,
Oh, I didn't know that. See, I
the
didn't even know that.
yeah, that's also Riot Games. In one way, you can go, guys, do you have anything else? But then again, you look at people like the makers of Borderlands, and you go, whenever they make something else, it's not really good.
Yeah.
So the Riot Games is going, we're gonna stick with what we know. You know what I mean? And just expand from there. So hey, maybe it works this way. It works better this way. And but yeah, man, easily this may be the best animation series
Mm.
ever. You know what I mean? It just may be that good.
Wow.
And
I mean, I heard because Netflix. has been giving the green light everything, but
They
that's the
sure do.
joke, right?
Mhm.
But like I was surprised. First of all, that I haven't seen it yet, but now it's not because I don't want it; it's because I have honestly forgotten. The Castlevania ones, like I heard they were really good, and I should check those out.
I
Eh,
like them. I like them. I
You
don't
don't
know
love
what it.
them.
Yeah, I don't love them. I like them. I don't love them. I don't know what it is about that particular. A lot of anime that's coming from Netflix. I
uh,
don't know what studio they're using, but it seems to be the same studio,
uh,
and I don't like their animation. You know what I mean?
mm,
It's not bad. It's just I've seen so much better. I'm like, Netflix, can you
yeah.
not get some of these other people on board? You know what I mean? Why are we using these guys? So that's really the reason why. The story of Castlevania is actually pretty good. So yeah, I'm a little shocked you haven't seen it either.
Yeah, no, and again, it's not because of any, any bet or anything that want to hold against chaos or anything like that. I honestly have forgotten
Fair
that
enough.
it
Fair enough.
exists. 'Cause my wife is not really into the animation 100%. Like when she got excited when one night I told her, honey, let's watch TV. Because that's a very rare thing for me to be saying. And then when I told her the plans, when I put that show, what it
Hurricane.
was like for a kid, I could see, I could see the semblance of her face, kind of like dropping a little bit, like,
Really?
oh, I get okay, oh, okay.
How's she feeling about it now,
But
though?
she likes it. I mean, she's not in love like I am,
Yeah, yeah.
but
In the end,
she is
it's just
enjoying it quite a
animation. Yeah.
bit, and we do have conversations of it afterwards, where I realized, and again, I'm not gonna say absolutely everybody should come in completely new to this series because it's awesome. Anyway,
Unless you already know League of Legends, then you know. Other than that,
well,
but
and who knows?
chances
Because
are
I
you
don't.
do that. You've already
I guess
watched
I
the
don't.
stuff.
I guess I don't even like. I don't even. Anyway, the like she caught something that I didn't, and to hear her explain it to me, I was like, oh, I'm extra glad that I have you watching it because I completely missed out on that, or I misinterpreted it, and it's awesome. It's a great, it's great to see that she is enjoying it, quite a bit. And she did mention that, oh, this are long. They're too long.
Oh,
And I was
okay.
like, at the beginning,
Mhm.
because again, there's setting up the world and a
Mhm.
lot of things, and
Yeah, you're gonna have
things,
that one episode at the very beginning that you got to get the pieces out of the way. You're putting
right,
the
right,
pieces onto the board. You got to understand who they are, what they do, and why they're there.
yeah,
And that takes an episode, maybe even an episode and a half. But once you
hmm,
have that, now you can start introducing, all right, the as you would call it, the inciting incident, which I don't have to say
right,
what it is. You know what I'm talking about. The
yeah.
inciting incident that will obviously lead to the
When
main
things pick up
revelation.
and new characters are introduced and like interesting things are happening and you start learning and caring,
Yeah.
and yeah, the game does that. The game, god damn it, the series does that very well. It's based on the game, so if I
Hey,
slip and say the game, it's, you
nothing
guys
wrong with
know
that.
what I'm talking
Nothing
about.
wrong with that. Anyway, so again, mentioned last week, highly recommend. Something else I watched. This was
You could rate it. You rated it, right?
I did. I already rated it 5 out of 5. It's a five out
Holy
of five.
sh-
It is.
Holy shit. Now I'm more excited. I might
This is
just go
yeah.
back after the
They
podcast
can
to watch.
only let me just season 2 can only go down from here.
Oh, shit.
It's like that's
Okay.
really the only the only thing. But it's funny because it got released on that Saturday
Mhm.
and we started it. We finished. I think did we finish? No, right before we started it, the announcement came out. It was like 30 minutes on YouTube. It was like 30 minutes ago. Such and such announced season. And I looked and look to see the season 2 thing. I was like,
Uh,
oh, okay, good to know. Good to know. But that lets you know it was already there. They were already working on it. They were just
mm,
letting folks get into it.
yeah.
So yeah. So definitely, like I said, 5 out of 5. It is ridiculous.
If you're gonna watch
You know,
something this year, It better be
It
that.
has to be that. It has to be that.
Yeah.
Something you probably don't want to watch is this other movie. This is one of my wife's, and it's called Food Club, and it is a comedy. This is significantly a chick flick here. Three friends from school. This is also a foreign film, so this is a Danish film.
Oh,
Okay, they go to
nothing but warning signs here.
yeah, red flags all over.
Yeah.
So they go to Italy together, these friends, because something happened. The inciting incident happened into one of them in a relationship. And so she ends up going to Italy with her friends to take a cooking class.
A cooking class.
Yeah, which is like a
quite an
cooking
exciting incident must have happened.
Well,
And that was the whole goal.
It's if you look at the red flags presented so far, just go, okay, so clearly someone cheated on someone, and now her friends are taking her out here, and blah blah blah.
Now we're going to cook it. We're
going to cook in Italy. With
Italy.
All yeah.
Well, you need to learn how to cook. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. And to be fair, though, I was looking at that going, hell yeah, I'd be on board with that. I would so be on board with going to Italy.
That's how she tricked you.
And it's like, yeah. The movie was okay. It's definitely not something I haven't already seen. If you've seen the Ex-Wives Club, or if you've heard of it, you haven't seen it, but if you've heard of the Ex-Wives Club, or it's one of those type of movies where it's not man-hating or anything like that, but it's definitely, let's just say that guys are never presented in the clearest of light. You know what I mean? Because
why would you assume that I haven't watched it?
Oh, that's a safe assumption, sir. That's the safest assumption I can make.
Fair enough.
Anyway, it was okay. It had its sort of adorable moments and stuff like that, but definitely not anything anyone would probably be interested in. However, I did get a chance to watch something I've been really looking forward to today, and that is Last Night in Soho, which is a film by Edgar Wright, and I'm sure you know Edgar. You probably know him by name, but Baby Driver,
Baby Driver,
Shaun of the Dead, Scott Pilgrim versus the World. This is the director for all these. Yeah. Last Night in Soho is awesome. I really liked it. It is a sort of a suspense with a little bit of horror. Nothing horrific, but it's funny because the horror elements don't get introduced until a bit later on, and so you don't even know it's coming. This was one of our trailer of the weeks.
Vampires.
No, not that kind of horror. But basically, what it is, it's she's a fashion designer. This all takes place in Europe. She comes from a small town or something like that, and she goes to London, and she has a school. She's going to London school to become a fashion designer, and for somehow she is able to transport herself to the 1960s, where she sort of encounters a I guess a dancer played by Anya Taylor-Joy, the lovely Anya Taylor-Joy, and she almost embodies her as she's kind of in there, and it's kind of like showing events and stuff like that. We don't know why, we don't know what's leading to, but she takes it and feels like it's something she can use in her life. And then things start to get dark. You know what I mean? And it's actually pretty cool. It's actually a really, really cool film. It's one of those things where you kind of think you know what it is, and then you don't know. It's like what ends up happening is a little bit not left field in the fact that it doesn't make sense. It makes perfect sense, but it's just the last thing you were expecting. So it's like, okay. Very cool. Very stylish. I mean, if you've seen any of Edgar Wright's films, you know he loves to bring the style factor into his movies. The music is great, very 1960s European type music. So stuff you would recognize. And I don't know, man. I'm glad I was able to see it. I think
I remember we saw this trailer.
Yeah, this was one of our trailer of the weeks.
Yeah. Did we make it a trailer?
Maybe it certainly was in the running. I know I made it mine. I don't know if you did.
Yeah.
Though.
Probably, because I don't honestly don't remember, but I do remember the aspect of suddenly it's like
She's
back in.
Mississippi. Yeah,
Yes,
she's back in
exactly.
time, yeah.
It's like, wait a minute, I've seen this.
Yeah.
I've seen this trailer,
It
and
is.
now I do want to watch the movie because I believe one of the things you mentioned was the fact that that it was, it got right, and he obviously directed a lot of movies that are, some of my favorites.
Yeah, I think that's really the this is in the theater right now, guys, for the record, guys. I didn't go to a theater to see it. I saw it here at home. But it is in the theaters now. And I did
you saw it at home.
Yeah, because you can. This is the Prime Video thing where you can rent it for $20, and it'll be like going to the movies and shit.
Oh, yeah.
So that's what I did.
So it's worth it. They definitely worth doing.
Yeah,
I
was looking to go to the theater last weekend or something like that, and we just shit happened. We couldn't make it happen. And this was the movie I had planned to go see. So I was like, all right, well, we didn't buy tickets for it, and I was like, you know what? And then I saw Prime had it for rent for $20, and I'm like, $20? That's a fraction of what I paid if I got into the theater anyway. So like, it's a deal.
Yeah,
but
you got a good TV now.
Yeah, exactly. And
I think Anna Taylor-Joy still looks like it's improper to watch her because she looks like she's 12 still in some scenes. So it's like, I don't know. I would still call her the quite lovely young lady.
Sure. Whatever you say.
I remember because it's an R-rated movie, and I remember seeing this trailer and going like, "Ooh, it seems like it goes places where I don't know how comfortable I'll feel."
If it makes you feel any better, sir, let me see.
She's like 34. I know it happens.
No,
I've seen
she's like 25. I think she's
okay. There you go.
She
could play a high schooler easily.
She can easily play, and she has. She was in Split. She was the one who got abducted.
Oh, that's right. Yes.
Yeah.
No, there you go.
Yeah,
yes.
she's already done the the high school thing. Anyway, definitely recommend this one. This I will give personally. I'm just going to give this one a 4 out of 5. I thought it was
nice.
Was it? What is our great? I think it's just great. Yeah, I thought it was great.
There's a character. Is she the same character? Like when she goes back in time, is she played by? I mean, I say it like that. I honestly don't know what really happens, but it's that still the same actress when she's blonde?
No. If you're looking at if you're looking at the one who's being transported, that's definitely a different actress. And yes, I believe she is actually younger. She let me see. I think she's like 21. Yeah, she's 21. Gotcha. But that's a different actress. Where's she been? Okay. She's been in.
I figured because I was like,
you saw Jojo Rabbit, right?
Yes.
She was she was Elsa in Jojo Rabbit. The one that was hiding. Yeah. So yeah. So
man, Jojo Rabbit's such a good movie. Sorry. I just need to
excellent movie.
It's an excellent movie.
Anyway, recommend highly. So I'm gonna go into just kind of flash through some of the stuff. I have not really delved deep into any of these. So I'm not really gonna score anything or anything like that. It's just really say this is kind of what I've been doing. The first one is a game. I want you to look this one up. Just look up the trailer so you can see it. And everybody else who's listening. The Eternal Castle, and it's called Remastered Edition. But don't be fooled. This game never existed before. That's just a promo to sell whatever it is. But this
remaster.
Is
bastards.
I know, it's so weird. The reason I was even interested in this one is because this is a very special bit art game. It just really has this almost neo-noirness to it, but it is futuristic. It's in space and stuff like that. Just the lighting, the way they use the lighting to animate.
Well, here's the thing. It has it I'm looking at the trailer right now and the gameplay on that. It looks like the type of game that you will play, like I mean, aside from the animation looks super great. I mean, for what it's trying to do for its art style.
Yeah.
But the visual itself, it looks like something that's running on a very early era PC game where it's only 16 colors and they just pick those colors. And yeah, I kid you not.
No, I believe you. I believe you.
Those are the colors that they will pick. That's cyan and you know the typical neon colors,
The neon
basically.
colors, yeah.
Where and again, just the visuals, because the animation, I mean, for the very heavily pixelated look, it's fantastic. Like you could tell that's the style they're going for.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
absolutely. And that's the reason why, like, I saw this randomly. I saw some video and it was like the best 8-bit or 16-bit art games, and I just ran them through, and then I saw this one. I was like, holy shit. And it just like caught my eye. I was like, and I went in and I saw it was on PlayStation, and I just immediately wish listed, and I was like, when I get a chance, I'll grab it.
I thought you were gonna say like, oh, fuck wish listing, I'm buying this. I was writing, I'm putting it on the first.
But I did. It's been it was on the wish list probably for a month, and it's now and I played it, and it is, first off, it's not an easy game, but it is your side scroll. It's almost like one of those like Inside or Limbo, that type of thing. You're just kind of going from one side to the other and figuring out puzzles. But there is combat involved, and so so it's not just exploration, and so you're really just trying to power up your ship to essentially get out, and it's pretty cool. It is really, really cool. Very, very distinct and original, and I love me some original shit like this.
We're looking for trailers for that. Don't get it confused with The Eternal Castle, which evidently is a Hallmark movie that came out in 2021.
Oh, wow, this one. Okay, no, not that one. You got to put in remastered edition.
Exactly.
Even though it was not remastered. It is on Steam, PlayStation, and Switch. No mention of Xbox, but no offense, I just don't feel like this would be something on Xbox anyway. But
now watch it be on Game Pass, and then fuck you.
Sure. Doubt it, but sure. Anyway, the next thing was Eldest.
I'm looking it up on purpose now, just to show.
I bet you it's not. It's just. How do I say this without it? It just does. It always felt like every console has their clientele, if you will. You know what I mean? And it just feels like this is not that it wouldn't immediately. It's on there.
It is on PS4, on Nintendo Switch, and on Steam. Which runs on Windows, which is on my Microsoft. So damn, there you go.
Hey, whatever route you need to tell yourself, sir. Whatever route.
It's like 4 degrees.
Separation.
Yes.
Oh man. The next one I played was Eldest Souls. This too is available on Steam, Switch, and PlayStation. No mention of Xbox on this one. Oh no, Xbox. There it is. Xbox. There you go. Eldest Souls is a isometric view, that type of game, but it is if you can't capture it from the name, it's a very Souls-like game, and it's actually, and this thing is challenging, my friend. One of the main. So first off, I don't really know the story. You just kind of get to an island. It is more of a boss rush in the sense that there are no enemies. You just kind of explore an area and get to a boss, and then from there you explore the area a little more. You get to another boss. So there's people to meet, but no one to fight except for the bosses. And so so it's more about that. Yeah, it's more of a boss rush in that sense. It is difficult, and the main so you really you just have a sword. You have your normal hit, and then you have your it's almost like a power up. You almost hold down the hit button, and you actually slide and hit the enemy with a harder hit. Those are your basic two moves. And then as you go along, you unlock more abilities as you go. And there's different skill trees that you can use. One that is more of a faster, lighter hitter.
Ah,
One of them which is more of a power hitter, but because it's a power hitter, you're open to being hit back. And then the third option is more of a counter one. So you have moves that set to counter hits that come at you.
ah.
That one
I
requires a
guess a
little more
dash
timing.
also.
You do have a roll or dash, to move out of the way and stuff like that. And that's as with most of these games, you're pretty much invincible when you do that.
Mhm.
And if you do it correctly, like through a move, you actually gain back what do you call stamina. So
Oh,
you don't lose stamina when you do it. And
okay.
so there's a little bit of a strategy on there. And whatever the cool thing of it is you're not locked into one form. You can
Mm.
spec and then unspec, and depending on the boss you're fighting.
Oh,
So and
it has skill trees.
it has, yes, three different skill trees. The green, which I mentioned, is the faster one. The red,
Uh,
which is the power hitter, and then blue, which is a counter. And depending on the boss, depends on which one you need. So you basically move things around based on how you need it to be in the boss,
mm,
which is good. The problem here is that's it. There's no leveling up. So there's no way of grinding to get stronger. You need to find the essentially the tree or the special move to that you have. Obviously you can only unlock certain special moves as you go along. So in other words, as you have like 3 points to use, well, you only have 3 points regardless of what tree, and you can only pick one tree. So
mm,
you try it with the green one. If that doesn't work, you try it with the red one. It's a little bit of trial and error, which is
uh,
a little frustrating. And like I said, the bosses are unforgiving, and there's no way around that.
yes,
There's no leveling up to get better and then taking them out. So that's, take it as you
yeah.
leave it. It either sounds really good or it sounds like, ooh, this is going to be a hard time.
Oh, it's gonna be
Um,
a no, thank you. Yeah, it's gonna be a
but
no, thank you from me. I
yeah,
tell you. No, but I mean, it looks great, and I bet people that
it
will
is.
enjoy this type of game
Yeah.
they would. It's just I need the progression, and if you're just gonna give me the difficulty without,
Oh, the
unless it
progression
happens,
is getting through the bosses essentially, right? Because I mean that's what the
yeah,
progression is, and using the
mm,
abilities as you go, because you can change your build at any point, which is interesting, and I didn't realize that at first I was playing it. I was just like, I'm having a difficult time taking this thing out, and then as on one of the death load screens, it goes, you can respec at any time. I'm like, really? Oh, and then I went in, started taking stuff out, but I was like, oh shit, and then I put it into something else, tried that out for a little bit, and it actually worked out better. I was like, oh, okay, I see, and
see,
now
it'd be
I get
like
the cycle now, basically.
I'll be like, well, game, you could have told me that shit sooner,
It
you
may have.
know?
It may have, and I just missed it. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
It may have mentioned that, but it was definitely in the load screen that it quickly said it. I was like, oh shit, that's good to know.
Yeah.
Because it could have said it as I was doing it, and you could say, you could do this at any time. Here's how you do it, and I just that anytime part, I completely blacked out or something at that point and missed it. Anyway,
the
Eldest
first
Souls.
the first the first trophy apparently that you get on the game it's when you die the first time, and it tells you it's the first of many.
It's the first of many, yes, which is typical for these
uh,
games. But
yeah,
so yeah, I still like it. I just know it's one of those where I'm gonna touch it for a little bit. I did go back to Battle Chaser
yeah.
for a little bit as well and played probably an hour or two of that, and then moved on to some. I'm just kind of
And
again
then you
dipping my
remember where
toes
you
everywhere.
left.
I did. I mean, it wasn't that far. It was only between the amount of time that it took me for Guardians of the Galaxy, and but I've
Oh, there
put
you go.
last time I looked at the clock, I put in 33 hours into Battle Chasers. I'm like, I kind of want to continue this. It's still good. It's still fun.
Yeah.
So
How
that
much
one's
time do
still
you
there.
put on Guardians? Curious.
I don't know. I didn't look.
No.
I really didn't look.
What did it felt?
If I had to, yeah, if I
12,
had to guess, I
15?
would say probably 15,
Okay.
somewhere around there.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah, 12 to 15 probably total.
Mm.
So and then the last thing, this one here is really, really out there. All right, and
Uh-huh.
I don't know if I'm gonna. This doesn't mean I'm gonna suddenly start playing this all the time. I played League of Legends.
Like, League of Legends. Wait, which League of Legends?
This is the
Not the
mobile
MOBA.
version. Yeah, the MOBA. Yeah, it's the MOBA,
The
but it's
MOBA.
it's the MOBA. It is
Wow.
one of their experiment. One member of League of Legends. I tell you, they're spinning off a lot of different things from there. From
Uh,
there, I think one of them is the mobile version, which is League of Legends Wild Rift, and
uh,
it's a beautiful game for the record. And then it's a mobile, and of course, having my Ultra S21 beautiful screen, it works really really good.
yeah.
So yeah, but I said, you know what, let me try. Why can't I, this way I can say, hey, I tried it, you know what I mean? Doesn't mean I got into anything like that.
Yeah.
I have, for the record, put in probably a good 2-3 hours, a couple matches here and
Oh,
there. There's obviously a lengthy tutorial and lots to fucking learn. I don't know if I'm
yeah.
going to be all into that. I was just trying it out to see what the fuck is it all about. Or what's the big hubbub about League of Legends? And yes, it is a MOBA, and I probably for the first few whatever, it's like I have no fucking clue what's happening here. So, you have your lanes, right? You have
Yes.
your duo lane, I can't remember the because I kept picking duo. And so and you're taking out the turrets along the way and enemies along the way. You got your minions that are popping up from our end, minions popping up from their end,
Uh,
and and you play as one of the heroes, right? And so you're the one that sticks out, and it's kind of cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of cool. I kind of
yeah.
get it. I get the
It has his following for a reason.
oh, for sure, for sure. It makes perfect sense. You know what I mean? I was like, okay, well, I see why this is not that it's anywhere the same, but my immediate thought was Overwatch. It's like the one thing I can connect it to is like, so
Mm,
you have an objective, all right? And the
yeah.
objective in Overwatch, for the most part, is to like you have the thing that needs to move through or whatever, or you need to
Hmm.
defend a specific spot.
You
And
pick
you
a
have your
hero.
heroes. Yeah, you have your
Hmm.
heroes. The only thing you don't have, minions, which is fine.
Right.
But the overall structure made sense. I was like, okay, I can connect those dots and go, okay, this I see what they're trying to do here. There's a lot of
Yeah.
wild shit in this, in no pun intended, wild shit
Okay.
in this, in the sense that okay, so you have the lanes, then you have these creatures that pop up every so often. You got to go take them out.
Hmm.
You've got the thing warns you of certain things, and I have no idea what it's talking about half the time. And your abilities, obviously, just like any other type of game like this, there's a cooldown time.
Hmm.
So I kind of got that. There's some of the abilities I don't know what it does because I'm sure there's a way of finding out into the menus and stuff like that. This is free to play, so it has the free to play elements. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Nothing to win or anything like that, but outfits and all this other
It's mostly, or at least because
consumables and
I
stuff
haven't
like
seen
that.
the I have not seen the mobile version, but I am familiar with the PC version, and I'm familiar with the fact that most of the its monetization has to do with like unlocking heroes and stuff
Yeah,
like that. Like it's
yeah,
perfectly for a free to play game. It's like perfectly fine. It's like
yeah,
perfectly
yeah,
harmless.
for sure. There's nothing here that's that I would say is uh evil or anything like that, and
Right.
it's but I can definitely I can definitely understand the 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 hook. You know what I mean? I
Right.
get it. I can see what it is, and it's fun. And I didn't want to spend money. I don't know if first off there is no version of this on console, or at least not on
Mm.
PlayStation. I don't know if there's one on Xbox. Um, for whatever reason, because my understanding is there isn't a lot to the game. It could run on pretty much anything, but for whatever reason, not on console. It is what it is.
Right.
So I was like,
It's
let me
it's
see.
it's heavy. I mean, I don't know what the interface is on mobile, but it is super heavy, uh, keyboard and mouse driven. Uh, it's a game that I will say requires it almost because you're constantly like clicking where you need your unit to be, to your hero to be. It was also based on, well, it was based on Dota, which is a mod from Warcraft. not World of Warcraft, but
Mhm.
I'm talking about the RTS Warcraft, and Warcraft 2 and Warcraft 3 that were, I mean, they were not RTS, and those you typically play with keyboard and mouse and making your selections and grabbing them. And I'm not saying it's not possible to make to do a port of it. I'm saying that the moment you do a port of that type of game, you're creating an entirely different game.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah. And this definitely is not, because we're using on-screen joysticks essentially, which is
there
the
you go.
one joystick left to move around, and then you have on the screen the buttons to press for the special. So
There
this
you
is
go.
obviously a much more simplistic version, and it is coming
Mhm.
to consoles, by the way. So it will they
Okay.
will have a console version soon. It's just
Oh, that's
not out
good.
yet.
That's good. That means that they found it. It's like with Diablo. Again, at first you couldn't think like, how the hell would they do this on consoles? And they did, and it ended up being like
Really good. Yeah.
ridiculously good. Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah. That's
So
good to hear.
I would definitely say I may, if it's free to play, because this is free to play. I assume it'll come to consoles as well as free to
Mhm.
play, and I might just jump into it to try it out a little bit. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I kind of get it, and again, there's no lore here to be told. It's just
No,
it's
this is a
just that's what the
competition
funniest
game.
thing. Yeah, it's a completely
Yeah.
competition game.
Yeah.
But I get it, and I'm not saying everybody should jump and jump on this. No, I did. This was really more of an experiment on my part, and I think it was a successful one, because I can say I kind of like it. You know what I mean? And again, doesn't mean I'm going to be spending a bunch of time on it, but I
Mm.
kind of like it. I get it. Um, it just it's just crazy. It's crazy is that this thing has existed that long. I'm just kind of, and I've known the name for forever. But now that I'm trying, I'm like, oh, this is actually not bad, and not bad. So I can definitely, if people who play it, I'm sure already know. I don't have to say anything about it. But if you're ever curious about it, a quick and easy free way is on mobile now and coming to console. If you're all interested, give it a shot. But I think I will definitely do it when it does come there. And
Yeah.
if anybody's interested, Chaos, Chaos was interested in. He's like, "What? You didn't tell me?" And I was just like, "It's on mobile, bro. You're not gonna play this with me like this." So, but anyway, that's besides the point. But that's all I had.
I am the Black Knight.
We are back, guys, and it is time for our useless news that you can use.
To abuse, but
to-
not abuse. We don't abuse. We don't abuse the news anymore. That's
I feel like we abuse it every freaking week. Maybe that's just me.
It depends. I mean, if we're going to be talking about Activision, then yeah, this is going to be very abusive because I am not sparing the rod on Activision anymore. So we better not have anything about
I
them.
have nothing Activision. Frankly, at this
Okay, good.
point, I agree. And at this point, we could just wait for the actual indictments.
For real.
Oh my god. So starting off at the top, guys, we have Microsoft has officially announced its December's Xbox Live Games with Gold titles.
Oh.
In the process, confirming the leaks that actually happened a little earlier. So original story, November's movie. Hold on. This is not it. Wait a minute. What are we doing here?
Those are not the ones. They're probably talking about Game Pass or something like that.
No, this is All right, well, let me go to.
Do you need me to take over, sir?
Oh, here we go. The gold titles will be The Escapist 2 from December 1st to the 31st.
Okay.
Tropical 5, the penultimate edition from December 16th through the 15th. Orcs Must Die from December 1st to the 15th. And Insanely Twisted Shadow Planet from December 16th through the 31st.
Wow, that's an old game. Yeah. So basically a whole lot of nothing here for December, huh?
I mean, Anyway, what can you do? Believe it or not, though, December PlayStation Plus games have been leaked, and
Ooh.
let me see if they've
So
actually.
this is not official. We're not officializing the PlayStation ones just yet, but
Yeah,
since
the
we
other
have the
one was
sources,
the other one has been confirmed. This one here
right?
has been leaked, and we don't have looking at the articles for any update. No update just yet. But here's
Mhm.
what the leaked versions are, or the leaked games, I should say, coming to PlayStation in December, not 4. You know what I mean? You got Lego DC Supervillains for PlayStation 4, Mortal
Mhm.
Shell for PlayStation 4.
Oh, okay.
Nice. That's a good one.
That's a good one, yeah.
And Godfall Challenger Edition for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So those are what have been leaked.
I feel like this is a strong message that Microsoft is trying to push people to get their Game Pass on, because they ain't giving you anything else special for just Xbox Live. Like
Yeah,
it's
it sure
yeah.
looks that way. It sure looks that way. And PlayStation Plus, this isn't like their best. Again, not confirmed, but not their best month. But still, some good stuff here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm probably going to tag all of them because I do anyway. But Lego DC Supervillains, I haven't played a Lego game in so long, and haven't seen one become available, free or anything like that. So maybe I'll dip my feet in there. Mortal Shell is actually on my list, so now I can remove from my list because I go, oh, it's already on my way. And Godfall, I had no desire to play it, but if it's
But you're gonna
already going to
tag it
be
anyway.
part of it, yeah, is that so?
It's funny because I didn't know that I actually own Lego Marvel superheroes. I didn't even know that I owned that. So
Oh,
great.
oh, there you go.
That's good, I guess. I don't know where
I
I grabbed that.
suppose, yeah.
I suppose. You done, sir, with yours?
I am, sir. Yeah, those are the
Okay.
free
All right.
games. One confirmed, the other still rumor, but that's just because Sony doesn't fucking discuss rumors.
Yeah. We'll wait. We'll wait to the next podcast, and I'm sure they would talk. Amazon is said to be nearing a deal to make a Mass Effect TV series. How do you like that? Amazon. Now, yes, I would say, right? Right? Very, very important. Amazon is nearing a deal with Electronic Arts to develop a TV series for the Prime Video streaming service based on the beloved Mass Effect video game franchise. The revelation can be found buried midway through a recent Deadline article about the performance of recent Wheel of Time series premiere on Prime Video and Amazon's overall programming strategy. Have you seen Wheel of Time? I don't even know what they're talking about.
I have not.
All right. Maybe something worth checking out.
Yeah.
Specifically, the piece drives into Amazon's focus on genres like fantasy to drive viewers, and say that will be the focus for Prime Video moving forward. You will see us continuing to invest. That's a quote. You will see us continuing to invest in fantasy genre of all kinds. We have a genre-focused team on the ground in studios who will work tirelessly with our creative partners and those slates, okay. And you can look forward to more. Amazon studio head Jennifer Salke told Dateline. In addition to Wheel of Time, which performed well for the company, a Lord of the Rings TV series is set to premiere in 2022. If the Mass Effect series is still in negotiations phase, as Deadline reports, then we will, in all likelihood, have to wait until well after 2022 to see the show's premiere. The article does not go into any details about the content of the series, likely because those have not been decided yet. Will a Mass Effect series retell the story of the games or a new story? Will it feature characters from the games or an entirely new cast? We'll have to wait and see.
Okay.
Mass Effect, do you feel it? Are you feeling it?
I think it could be good. I mean, it can basically
has the
be
potential to be
Star
great.
Trek-ish,
I think
you know what I
so.
mean? Yeah. More action Star Trek. You know what I mean? Because Star Trek wasn't always very action packed, but yeah, I think it could be good. It comes
Yeah.
down to the characters, man. It's got to come down to now. I didn't hear this and I don't know if it's in there somewhere, but no Shepherd, right? This is just in the Mass Effect universe.
They we don't know yet. It's kind of early. So if they're still wondering, or we're still wondering if it's going to be a retelling of the games, or if it's just gonna be entirely new characters. We don't know. I
I
mean,
want new characters. I want new stories. I want something that I don't have to consistently compare to what I've already seen. Because that's the
I
problem. You know what I mean? The problem is, we already have a bar set by the game, and by
Mhm.
having it be Shepherd, you know what I mean? It's suddenly going to go, okay. Oh, by the way, Shepherd was also whatever character you made it. You know what I mean? It was either going to
Right,
male,
true.
female, and look complete. So
Yeah, I
that
mean that was a
alone makes me
canonical shepherd, but
yeah,
for market, but it was canonical for marketing purposes more than anything.
correct. And so I just don't know. I feel like I feel like thinking of like the Last of Us one. It's
Mm.
like I feel like it's cool and I have faith in HBO and all that, but at the same time, it's really a retelling. So it's like, what I might,
I
they're
already know
obviously
the
going to make
story.
some changes. You know what I mean? You got to
Right.
have some whatever, but it's a story I already know. You know what I mean? And arguably was already told in a very cinematic way. You know what I mean? So
Yes.
I feel like I want something within that world, not something retold to me. And I get what they're doing. They're, obviously this is. I feel like the series really is not even for me. It's really for non gamers. But
Mm.
so same thing here. It's like the universe that they've created in Mass Effect is so huge. Pick a section. Pick the war that you spoke about that happened way before. Uh, you know,
Oh,
before
that'd be
Shepard
nice.
ever.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Or the first,
Or the
or the
Ragnar Wars,
yeah,
or yeah,
exactly. Or what led to the genophage? You know what I mean? The war,
yeah.
all that stuff. You can pick all of that, and maybe not, focus on Shepard. Because I feel like that potentially is setting them up for failure.
Yeah, I mean, a Mass Effect series, TV series that features Shepard will have to answer the question that they probably rather not have to answer right now, which is, well, which Shepard is the canonical Shepard? Is it male Shepard or is it female Shepard?
Yeah,
You
that'll be
know,
their first. And let's call it what it is. Uh we're in a society right now that gets up in arms about anything for no
mhm,
fucking reason. That'll be the first complaint. Oh,
yeah.
so you're saying there couldn't be a female shepherd?
Mhm,
That's one side, and the other side going, wait, I never played as a female shepherd. Why isn't I? Why is the shepherd? And all, as you said, all the advertisement always had a male. Why are you making a female? You have both sides
mhm.
going. You're already starting off on a bad foot.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm saying? So it's like, just leave Shepard out of it. Just make it about something else.
At the same time, I feel like the character is so iconic, regardless of which version you play, that leaving him out or her out, fuck, leaving it out, um, will bring could be something like a king of having the Witcher series without girl. Could be any other Witcher, because why not? There were a bunch of other Witchers, but yeah, but would that be the same? Would we have been excited about it?
That's
You
what the
know,
animated series, animated movie did. It's about
true.
what is this? What is it? Viserys? No, not Viserys. Whatever the older Witcher was.
Viserys sounds like the right name, but also the wrong name. But I know what you're
Yeah, I
talking
think
about.
Viserys is from fucking Game of Thrones.
Viserys
But
is from
yeah.
Game of Thrones. Yes,
But anyway, whatever his
yes.
name is, it's about him. So, uh, and you're right, because guess what? I haven't even seen that movie. So, you're
That's what
probably
I'm
right.
saying. I feel like
Yeah.
he needs to, if he needs to succeed and bring numbers and bring, they kind of have to make it as Shepard. Now, who they pick up to Shepard, they will have it's all for grabs, and they will have to stick to it. But it's like there's
Trust your
nothing wrong with
storytellers,
me.
man. Trust your
Yeah,
storytellers. That's what
exactly,
I'm gonna say. Is like
exactly.
pick something else. This is me saying pick something else. leave Shepard be, and trust your storytellers to make it interesting. You know what I mean, and go with that. But yeah, you're probably right.
Mm.
They'll probably go with Shepard because you got to market it somehow, and
Yeah,
that's
what's
just the way it
more
works.
marketable then?
Yeah.
How about a series where they filmed both versions, the male version and the female version? I'll tell you what, it'll not be received well either because, of course, that'll bring, well, where's the non-binary version of it? You know?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Where's the trans version or whatever?
And not to mention, somewhere along the line, they're going to leak. So, based on numbers, the female version is the one that's watched most, as opposed to the male, and then up in arms because of that.
Up
Like,
in arms
wait,
because of that, exactly.
somebody's fudging the numbers back there, and blah blah
Yes,
blah. Whatever,
yes.
guys. Whatever.
We need to pick a side. We need to pick a side in the world because that's what life is about. Is pick your team, pick what you want to be, what you want to represent, or what you symbolize, and disagree with anybody that doesn't follow your
Correct.
exact belief system and the exact.
And when you disagree, make sure
method
it's
of
a
life.
heated disagreement. You know,
Yes,
it has
no,
to be
you gotta make
felt.
sure you
Yeah.
insult the other party also because they don't have the life that you want them to have. You know, you gotta make sure that you drive the point home that they are living the life wrong.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
yeah.
Moving on to my next piece. Speaking of living the life wrong and Witcher, the president of CD Projekt Red believes that Cyberpunk 2077 will be considered a, quote, very good game, end quote, in the future, once the issues are finally resolved. Speaking in an interview with Polish economic newspaper, and I cannot pronounce this at all, Respospolita, Adam Kaczynski argued that the brand awareness generated by the game means it will eventually be seen as a success, despite its rocky launch in December. Quote, Cyberpunk 2077 is the biggest, most ambitious, and definitely the most complicated project of our 27-year history. In almost every aspect, we tried to take it a step further, just as we've done with every Witcher game we've released. Releasing a game in a new franchise brings many challenges and risks, especially when the concept is so complex. We brought to life a huge, vibrant, futuristic city called Night City, where the characters' non-linear stories take place. We're proud of many of the aspects of the game, but we know not everything went our way. Nevertheless, the brand awareness of Cyberpunk that we've managed to build is huge, and the game universe, its characters and details have fans all over the world. We believe that in the long run, Cyberpunk 2077 will be perceived as a good game, and like all our other titles, it will sell for years, especially as the hardware gets more powerful over time and we improve the game. And a sidebar to that, Cyberpunk 2077 is currently on sale for $10 at Target, guys. Go get it.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that game was released almost a year ago.
Yeah. $10 at Target.
$10.
Oh, by the way, it's the
$10.
PlayStation 4 and Xbox One version.
Oh, the good
Yes,
versions.
yes,
Okay.
exactly.
Yes. You know what? That game has the potential to become a good game, and I will play it,
does,
when
but
they
my problem
probably
is this.
release it.
Yeah. The problem is I feel like they're working on it clearly, but I feel like a good part of it is to sweep this under the rug. And that's upsetting for someone like myself, who that was my most anticipated game, and it's been a year and I have not played it.
No fix.
You know what I mean? I own it, it's there, and I haven't played it. Why? Because I'm waiting for them to fix it. Why? Because they released it broken, knowingly released it broken, because everything leading up to it was all the red flags were there. No, you can't use your own image, your whatever. You know, you have to review the PC version. Everything was there to say, "Ooh, something don't smell right."
Mm-hmm.
And if it don't smell right on our end, it's because they knew it didn't smell right on their end. So there wasn't, it's not, it wasn't, it didn't release. Well, what did he say? Let me see here. Let me go back.
What did he say?
He had one line where it's just like, releasing the game and brought to life. Nevertheless, Oh, we're proud of many aspects of the game, but as we know, not everything went our way. You knew it wasn't going to go your way this way, unless you really thought everything's going to be fine. What's that?
Yeah.
They'll take it this way.
This is acceptable.
This is acceptable. Yeah, come on, man. That's the part where I'm like, this is starting really to sound just not good. And I don't know.
Yeah,
Anyway.
I would like. I mean, there's there's a promise to that to that game that they obviously did not deliver. But I would like for them to be able to deliver it properly on a version, on a 2.0 or a re-release or whatever they want to call it. That makes it feel like the next No Man's Sky or Final Fantasy 14 story of, the game was released, it was horrible, but they worked on it and they fixed it. Of course, at this point, the more it's you're waiting for it, like that good, like you start losing.
Yeah. You
Trust.
start losing trust.
Like,
you have already lost trust, but
yeah,
you're not gaining any confidence from me the longer we go. Which
you already burned a lot of your goodwill. So now, and we still haven't seen proper current gen versions. Anyway, things don't always go the way they want or we want them. That happened to Microsoft quite a few years back, and we're going to delve into some history here. But Microsoft reveals the letter from that time it failed to buy Nintendo. Oh yes, that was a thing that did happen. Back in 1999, before the original Xbox, Microsoft tried to buy Nintendo. It didn't go so well. Now, more than 2 decades later, Microsoft have published a letter sent between companies at the time, revealing plans for what might have been. The document was sent by Xbox then hardware chief Rick Thompson to Nintendo of America's then business boss Jacqueline Story, and discusses Microsoft's attempt to meet with Nintendo's legends Hiroshi Yamauchi, then the boss of the company, and Genyo Takeda, Nintendo's hardware chief. Again, it sounds like Microsoft was having a tough time. The letter is part of the new browser-based Xbox Interactive Museum, which went live yesterday. Side note, by the way, I went and saw that new Xbox Browser Interactive Museum. Kind of cool. I gotta admit, it brought me memories because it's basically your history, your history with Xbox, and they showed me like my very first achievement ever, the game that I played the most of all Xbox games released, which evidently was Mass Effect 2, to no one's surprise. It showed it's like going down memory lane, and of course it has that big gap where it shows that yes, at one point I did own an Xbox One. If you guys remember, I owned it for a few months, and then I just sold it and got a PS4 Pro. And then the gap of not owning a series console. But it was cool. It was something nice, nice to see. And I guess it's meant to be to not only show you the history of Xbox in itself, but also like the part that you took on it. As far as like games that you played and things that you enjoyed and the hours you spent on whatever and your achievement and the first time you did X or Y, and it was kind of neat. I liked it. It was well presented. The letter goes, or a part of the letter goes like this: Dear Jacqueline, I'm going to say Jacqueline because I don't know how to pronounce it. I appreciate you taking time to arrange a meeting with Mr. Takeda and Mr. Yamauchi to discuss a possible strategic partnership between Nintendo and Microsoft on future video game platforms. The letter begins. I understand Mr. Takeda's concern about the possible partnership and will try to. And then it says obscure. It says obscure, so I guess they redacted that part. The guidelines that he has requested. The rest of the letter is mostly obscure, but there's a brief mention of Microsoft still continuing development on its Xbox project, alongside the suggestion it would, quote, help make Dolphin the best, end quote. Dolphin, of course, was Nintendo's codename for GameCube. Microsoft detailed its bid to buy Nintendo in an oral history of the original Xbox creation, published earlier this year. Kevin Backus, former director of third-party relations, recall how the eventual meeting went poorly. And then the quote says, Steve, that's Steve Ballmer, the ex-Microsoft CEO. Mm-hmm. Steve made us go meet with Nintendo to see if they would consider being acquired. They just laughed their asses off. Like they just laughed their asses off.
Wow!
Like imagine an hour of somebody just laughing at you. That was kind of how the meeting went. End quote.
That is awesome.
that is hysterical. A later pitch the year after that letter was for Xbox to simply focus on Nintendo's hardware while Nintendo itself focused on games. Nintendo returned to the table for talks. And then the quote goes, we actually had Nintendo on our building on January of 2000 to work through the details of a joint venture where we gave them all the technical specs of the Xbox. Then, when we gave them all the specs of Xbox, the then head of the department of business department, Bob McBreen, said the pitch was their hardware stunk, and compared to Sony PlayStation, it did. So the idea was, listen, you guys are much better at the game portions of it with Mario and all that stuff. Why don't you let us take care of the hardware? Let's just say that didn't work out either. Microsoft seems to forget like a lesson in maybe some tact. Like imagine going to Nintendo, like, listen, guys, your hardware sucks. You guys are good at games. Let us take care of the hardware. You focus on games. How about that? And then we can split it 70-30. What do you say?
30, yeah. 30. Because, we're doing all the work anyway.
Exactly. Oh, boy. I love the fact that this was actually confirmed, that this is actually a thing. It kind of makes you wonder, like how different would it have been? Nintendo has always been like that. Nope, we don't need anybody. Like when they were doing the thing with Sony, and then refusing when with fucking Philips Interactive. Jesus Christ. Talking about betting on the wrong horse. They bet on a dead horse. But anyway, Sony didn't have much to show just yet because they just made TVs. I mean, they were the makers of the Trintron, whatever. Like, what makes you think you can do a console? Now here comes Microsoft, the makers of Windows. I mean, like, hey, I know the jokes about Windows sucking and all that, but let me tell you something. You know what sucked? Your hardware, Nintendo. I mean, did you see that Nintendo 64? Woo! What the hell was that controller? Listen, we have an idea. How about we make the hardware for you? We got a controller that is fit for the Japanese audience.
Yes. The massive controller that none of them can hold.
The controller, you can have a couple of them holding it because the controller is like almost 2 stories high. Oh my god, that went horrible. Microsoft, what the hell were you thinking? I mean,
That is hysterical.
you had to try. I get it. You had to try. And Nintendo, we all know that they are formidable when it comes to software and the hardware. I mean, they have they
They know how to do
definitely
a lot with a little.
yes,
You know what I'm saying?
exactly.
That's really
what I
where
was going
they
to say.
freaking nail it
Yes.
every time. A lot.
Not
with a little.
every time. Nope. Not
No,
every
okay,
time. You
not
were
every
doing very
time.
well there, but
No.
Virtual Boy says hi.
This is true. This is true.
And the Nintendo Wii was,
Most of
let's
the
face
time.
it was a scam. You know, we all fell. It was a scam that we all fell on.
I still have the Wii, so whatever.
And then-
Maybe the Wii U was a scam.
And the Wii U, exactly. Let's just say they're not afraid of breaking a few eggs.
Yeah, for sure. I 100% agree. All I have left, sir, are two really quick hits. I'm going to start with the first one, and that is, of course, Epic Games has acquired Rock Band and Dance Central creator.
Well, there you go.
Harmonix.
You just took mine. So,
Did I? I'm sorry.
oh, go for it.
The
You tell
boss-
it better.
I mean, this is just a quick hit, so I'm not really going into it much. But the Boston, Massachusetts-based studio, which was founded in 1995 and was also once owned by Viacom, said on Tuesday that it plans to, quote, work with Epic to create musical journeys and gameplay for Fortnite, end quote. It also said it will continue to support existing titles, Rock Band 4 and Fuser, and that all its games will remain available on Steam and consoles. So good stuff for you.
No, this is a good stuff for Harmonix because I was starting to get concerned about their health. Let me tell you.
I'm sure they bought them for a dime on the dollar.
No, exactly. And they have a talented team. Harmonix have done some good stuff. So yeah, I don't think this is the comeback of music games, but that talent could be put into working on something. I just hope it's not just Fortnite. Come on, guys, like for real.
I mean,
for real.
That's the cash cow.
That's the cash cow.
And my last piece, guys, Hideo Kojima, or I should say Hideo Kojima's Kojima Productions, has officially expanded into music, television, and film. On Monday, the Japanese game developer announced a new division located in Los Angeles, California, which it says will expand its games into other mediums. According to GameIndustry.biz, the new division will be led by PlayStation veteran Riley Russell, who worked at Sony Interactive Entertainment for nearly 3 decades as Chief Legal Officer and VP of Business Affairs. Quote, the new division will be tasked with working with creative and talented professionals in TV, music, film, as well as a more familiar games industry. The team has as its charter the goal of expanding the reach and awareness of properties now under development and Kojima Productions, and to make them even more a part of popular culture. So yeah, we got Kojima Productions officially here in America.
They're doing it, and you took my other one, so that's fine. I still have some bullets on my magazine. Let's see. How about the fact that Battlefield 2042 already, guys, this is exciting. Battlefield 2042 has already become one of the worst Steam review games, while also maintaining it's one of its most played. So it just goes to show.
It goes to show that your voice means nothing.
Exactly. This if there was ever the quintessential definition of a typical gamer, it's right here. It's right here. It's like, you remember, I might have told the story of the Steam group that was dedicated, because you can kind of like Facebook groups. You can also do groups of people for. There was one in particular that was to boycott the remake of Call of Duty Modern Warfare. Mm-hmm. And it was like, that was the group. It was like, this is a group. We are not gonna be buying the game when it comes out because it's outrageous that you need to get it. That you need to get the the Call of Duty of that era, which was I don't remember, but remember this game wasn't sold standalone at first. It was a bundle with another game that you had to buy, with another the Call of Duty of that year, if you remember. And when the game got released, like almost there was a screenshot of almost everybody that was on that group was playing Modern Warfare, and it was so embarrassing because that's what happens. That's what happens.
That is, yeah.
So, Battlefield 2042, unfortunately, it's facing something similar. A rough launch for Battlefield 2042 has seen it become one of the worst reviewed games on Steam in a little over a week. News of the game's poorly received start to live comes despite also being one of the platform's most played titles since launch. According to data published by Steam 250's Hall of Shame, which ranks worst reviewed games of all time in the platform, EA's shooter, the EA shooter is currently experiencing a pretty dismal launch as far as user reviews are concerned. Currently ranked as the 9th worst reviewed game of all time on the platform, Battlefield 2042 has seen over 30,000 of its 42,000 reviews on the platform come back as negative. As of right now, that number is 53,896. The all-time reviews are mostly negative, which is like the lowest of the low. When it comes to user reviews, take that for whatever you care. According to Steam DB, Battlefield 2042 is currently ranked second only to Halo Infinite for trending games across the last 7 days and for peak player count across the last 24 hours. So it's still doing very well because it's still doing it's just lagging behind Halo Infinite, behind everybody's putting it as a bad game. Users posting negative reviews for games cite a number of reasons spanning both gameplay aspects and lack of overall features in the game. While many fans have vented their frustration on Steam, one member of the community recently went to Reddit in order to show how many Battlefield normal features seem to be missing in 2042. The list was pretty long, and it also includes some noteworthy inclusions mentioned. Aside from the technical issues and the lack of contents where guns and vehicles are concerned, and changes to the game class system. Anyway, despite Battlefield's 2042's turbulent start to live, at least he hasn't seen a launch quite as bad as Konami's eFootball. Yeah, I guess that was the free-to-play soccer simulation that was. It's literally the worst thing that has released this year.
Yeah, pretty horrible here.
But anyway, yeah, people are gonna complain and but like you should speak with your wallet has never been a message that gamers understand, because at the end of the day, they just get caught on the hype. And I'm not gonna say I'm not immune to it. It has happened to me, and I have. Yeah, Cyberpunk, exactly. It happened to all of us, exactly. Battlefield. The thing with Battlefield is like I knew that all the from experience already, and because this one didn't have a campaign that at least I could say, well, I'll play the campaign while they fix the multiplayer issues. I decided to wait because I want this game to be good because I love Battlefield, the Battlefield games. But this one just being multiplayer and only have its only gameplay feature not being super well, and also having the release of the free-to-play Halo Infinite, I gave me no reason to go for it. I will wait. I know that at some point I'll get it. Hopefully it'll be fixed and proper. I mean, they did a pretty good job with Battlefield 4, and Battlefield 4 came out broken. The multiplayer was broken.
I remember seeing those videos.
Yeah, it was. It was a joke. It was a joke. You think this is bad? Battlefield 4 was. It was a joke. Thank goodness that it had that campaign that at least kept me busy for a little bit. And then once they fixed it, I started playing it, and now that game is great.
I have a theory that because it's gotten to this point where we don't see we shouldn't be seeing games come out like this.
No.
And yet for some reason we have, the occasional blunder,
Mhm.
and I guess I'm going back to before pandemic.
Right.
And I feel like we had a good span there where things weren't really being released broken. Maybe light on features, nothing really just bad. And then you have Cyberpunk, you have a couple other ones. I can't think of the name of that. This one you're mentioning, whatever. And what everyone seems to lean on, or I guess what there's difficulty development time within the pandemic, because of COVID. And I wonder if that's an excuse, bro. I feel like that's an excuse. Not that it doesn't happen, not that there isn't some strain because of it, but what your game is before you release it. This is like you already know.
Are you
But
not
I feel like
this shit?
it's like if we release it, we have an out, guys. We're in a pandemic. We can just chalk it up to being, hey, the strains of working through a pandemic and all this. That's just honestly, that's just a fucking conspiracy theory in my head. But I think about that. I think about that sometimes because there's always reasons, and we hear it all the time. We hear the delays, right? They're constantly mentioned, because it's strenuous, whatever. We want to release the best product, and we don't want to release it, whatever. So they push it back. They push it back. I don't know. That's just my thing. I threw that out there just to see if you agree with me at all.
No, I do. I think we know the because both of us are working from home. The fact that it's not the same. It's definitely not the same having the resources ready at hand. I work with everybody versus like everybody doing their things and trying to get the best of them through Zoom meetings and stuff like that. So we get that. It's easy to use this as the excuse because the thing is they don't say, well, we're going to give it another year or we're going to give it another 6 months or whatever, because no, they still have that marketing like hard-coded data they need to meet for whatever reasons. The reason will be holidays, of course. That they are like, we rather take a hit to our reputation and release a broken game and then apologize and tell everybody, tell the community that
we get an influx of money. You know what I'm saying? That's the whole deal. By releasing, we get an influx of money.
Exactly. And at some point, it's gonna get fixed, or if we care to, to fix.
Think about the PC version of Cyberpunk 2077, which they sold. They made back their cost and then some,
right?
Just from the PC version of that game, knowing the console version was fucked. You know what I mean? So I agree. I call bullshit.
I'm just tired. I'm tired of the trade of the trade. So let me tell you that trailer for Battlefield. The real it obviously looked fantastic, and the graphics, and they'll say, oh, this was done in engine and whatever, but like it doesn't matter when you're playing the game does not look like this. It does not have that level of shadows and those level of ray tracing and those levels of nothing, because there isn't a computer out there that can run those levels. So of course you have to take everything down, kick things down a notch. I'll tell you what I dislike. I don't have any problem with people that can still manage to see through it and enjoy the game for what it is, for what it's delivering. Like I have no doubt people are having fun with it. I'm not saying, oh, you must hate this game. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that you there is a level where you could be like having fun with a game that you know it's not at its optimal. Um, like shit, like I was playing Back for Blood, for example, and then there is the blind fanatism that people get, that blinded, that, well, I spent money on the game already, so now I'm gonna justify like whatever shit that the developers or the publishers say about it, because this is good enough. This is good enough. And it's like, no, it it's fucking not. If you're okay, with this, then more power to you. But this game was promised to be so much more, and in reality, is less. Because right now, if you want to play a good Battlefield game, you should go back to Battlefield 4. That game is fixed. That game is that's still being played, and it runs great. And this is instead of newer, so it's better. It feels like in gaming, if newer, it's more likely to be broken.
Yeah,
because that's the way that we release our games.
That's
we
how
release
they
our
do it
games
now.
on an incomplete way, and then just to get the money up front, and then we'll patch it later. We'll fix it later.
yeah, that's what I
That
feel.
sucks.
I agree.
Yeah. That's it.
All right. Well, that's all for our news section, guys. Stay tuned. We'll be right back with our hot topic.
Might as well just
Right in. We're slipping in when they don't even see it. Wait, that's
that's
Not
frowned
good at all.
upon. No,
I believe it
yes.
is. You're absolutely right. We are back, guys, and we promise we're doing nothing that's frowned upon.
No, we're not slipping anything.
We're back with the hot topic of the week.
Hot topic.
Hot topic again, guys. Is it time for good video game adaptations? And of course, if you didn't already catch the beginning of this show, you obviously know that we're head over heels for Arcane, which is probably at this point the best video game adaptation. Period. There's nothing really. There's nothing really to say. But the reality is that the bar really wasn't very high to begin with. But and I think that's the frustrating thing, which is why I don't even want to call it that. I'm talking about Arcane at the moment. I really just want to say it's an excellent animated series.
Yes.
And I almost don't even want to say animated. It's just an excellent series. I'll just leave it at that. It's an excellent series. Because I feel like there's a stigma
action,
no matter what.
So I guess yeah. Yes. There's no doubt that we are smitten like a kitten with Arcane League of Legends still, and we're liking it a whole lot. And that's the reason why we're left wondering, like, could it be happening?
Could there be more? Yeah.
Could there be more? Exactly.
It's important, though.
Yeah.
It is important. As the old saying goes, you don't know where you're going if you don't know where you. Wait, might be saying that wrong. You don't know if. How can you know where you're going if you don't know where you came from, right? So,
yes.
I'm paraphrasing really, really badly on that one. I'm just letting you know.
It sounded legit until you discredited it there at the end. I was right there with you.
It's I'm pretty sure that's more or less how it's said. But anyway, that's beside the point. So I wanted to start with the top 10 according to this site for the win. Top 10 video game movie adaptations of all time. Yes, of all time.
Is it movie adaptation? So this is just strictly keeping it to.
This is just movies, but we're opening it up. I just wanted to give you sort of a measuring stick as to where we've been so far with video game adaptations into movies. Obviously, there have been some series, and this particular article came out October 2nd. So I would argue that probably Castlevania would be sprinkled in here if it was considering it.
I was gonna
at all.
say,
Yeah, if it was
yeah.
considering it at all. But since it's just films, let's go with that. And so I'm going to start from 10 to 1, and you can stop me along the way. Number 10, 2012's Ace Attorney. Yes, you heard that right. 2012 Ace Attorney. This is obviously a Japanese film, and well, if you know the source material, you know pretty much what's about. Number 9, 2018's Rampage. Yes.
Rampage, yes.
I remember you actually enjoying this movie.
I said, I didn't say it was a good movie. I said it was an entertaining one, and I stand by that. It is an entertaining movie. Obviously a little ridiculous. I feel like for what they were going for, like there have been some movies that there was no way to make right.
Yeah.
Like a Tetris movie, for example, will make absolutely no sense, and yet I don't know if it did happen or if it was happening or whatever it is, but that shit just stinks. The idea itself is just ridiculous. Here we have an old arcade game where obviously those were very light in story, in lore. Let's just say the premises were a little silly, to say the least. I feel like what the interpretation for the cinema, it made more sense than going for, oh, well, this is a lady that turned into a lizard because her name was Lisa, or a guy that turns into a giant ape, but he's not Donkey Kong, so we gotta call him George. I think it was the name.
George. Yeah, that's actually his name in the game. So
in the game, right?
Yeah.
Right. So that's what I'm saying. It is kind of. I feel like they did the best job, or as good of a job as they could have
done with the material provided. And of course, it doesn't help to have Dwayne Johnson.
Another monster, exactly.
Yeah,
you have
monster number 4, Challenger accepts.
Yes.
Number 8, 2016's Warcraft, and I believe you saw this one. I have yet to see it. The movie actually grossed $400 million. Not bad.
Warcraft, yes, based on World of Warcraft.
That's right.
Yes. This movie, I'll be honest with you, it was not a good movie as far as you don't jump to see this movie. If you haven't watched it, you haven't missed anything. I'm not gonna tell you to jump through hoops to grab it, but I thought that what they did, like, maybe not in story, but in the presentation, it was paying a decent amount of respect to the IP, to World of Warcraft. Again, not necessarily in its story, but like the orcs was like, it was exactly what I expected orcs to look like on live, on the live action, and the whole thing with the whole world and in itself, Azeroth, it was a very good presentation of that on that aspect. I would have, if they would have. The problem is, I don't know any of the actors that participated in this thing.
Yeah, I don't know either.
and that already kind of like the fact that you don't have any recognizable, talent. Not to say that the people that participated there weren't talented. I'm just saying that when you don't have anybody that could put some weight in, I feel like the movie's
Somebody
already
who brings a certain gravitas or clout to
gravity.
it.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, yeah. So the movie didn't have any,
The only one I
and
know by name, I'm just kind of looking at Dominic Cooper. I do know Dominic Cooper played. You know him by face.
Sure.
He the plays here Lane Wren. But he is the actor who played Howard Stark in the Captain America films when he was back in the 40s. So that's the actor who played there. Ben Foster, he's been in a bunch of stuff. Paula Patton, she's been in a couple of things. So yeah, there's a couple of faces here. No one who's like stands out as like, oh shit, this is a power
there's
player.
no Nicolas Cage in here. If you would have at least,
I love that was your go-to.
Yeah. Hey,
that was your go-to for that.
Not only
There's no
Nicolas
Nick
Cage
Cage
should have been here, he should have been an orc. It would have been
loved that.
fantastic.
Oh,
Yes,
that's great.
crazy orc. Oh my god! I just buried this movie because the idea what could have been is 1,000 times better than what it ended up being.
$400 million. It's not too. It wasn't a flop, at least commercially. So
it was hard not to. It was the World of Warcraft movie, and we've only been waiting for that, or we were waiting for that to happen since forever. So of course it was gonna make movie. That's that many disappointed faces at the end of it when the credits drop.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Number 7, Tomb Raider from 2018. This is the Alicia Vikander reboot.
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that? Okay. Well, I saw
My
it,
wife saw
and it was okay. It was all right. It was okay. She was a much more, obviously this was actually way more focused on the rebooted series that we have recently. Tomb Raider, Shadows of Tomb Raider.
It was almost a little too obvious that was what they were going for. Yeah,
extremely. But yeah, nothing to write home about. Number 6,
as opposed to the rest of the list.
Yeah, well, yeah, none of these are really to stand out, especially number 6. Number 6, 2020's Monster Hunter. Yes, that movie.
Oh wow, that
is
happened.
Number 6 on this list. Same duo.
Yes, that's right. That did happen, and it was looking pretty good, also, right? It was as far as.
I would say it was not.
I don't mean in the sense of.
Yeah.
I don't mean in the sense of was it a good movie. I mean it more in the sense of it was looking like, oh yeah, this looks like exactly what a Monster Hunter characters will look like if it was live action. Or no? You disagree? You don't think so?
I didn't see
it.
I can.
Not even the trailer?
I have seen the trailer, yes, and no, the trailer did not blow me away. It did not.
No. I don't think it.
Yeah, and yeah, it was because again, you bring some sort of military unit, and it has to be a military unit because why not?
Yes.
And suddenly they're transported to the world of freaking Monster Hunter.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, I take it back. That was really fucking dumb.
Yes. This is
really
Paul
stupid.
W.S. Anderson and Mila Jovanovic.
Yes.
That one did not look.
Just love her B movie video games.
It's a living, right? It's a living.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a living. Number 5, 2006, Silent Hill. Sir, I'd probably be the only one. I'll land on this grenade and say this is prior to anything else. I really enjoyed Silent Hill. It's number 5 on the list. Not that this list means much, but, just saying.
And you're not being sarcastic.
It's not. It's got a sort of a loose adaptation of the I want to say it was the original Silent Hill, and or maybe it was the 2. It was like a combination of 1 and 2, but no, man, it really had some freakish. I played Silent Hill games. I don't know if you ever did, but it has some really freakish moments in this game, and just horrific. Like there's a siren that happens in the game that it's one of those things you dread to hear while you're playing. That when it happened in the movie, that dread came right. I knew exactly what was happening. It was like, oh shit, shit's about to go down, and it's just like hairs in the back of my neck stood up, and I was like, so I think it delivered in what it was trying to deliver, and so that's why I think it's actually a good one. Is it a good movie? It's okay, it's a horror movie in that end, so it is what it is. So I'm okay with it at 5. I don't give a shit. But anyway, number 4, 2021's Mortal Kombat.
Oh, I was
Now
wondering
this
if that was
list
gonna
has
show up.
completely, now this list means nothing as far as I'm concerned.
Spoiler alert, it's downhill from here. Wow, Mortal Kombat. We were stoked by that trailer and the promise of what could have been. Actually, and when I say we, I am not including you because I know and I gotta give you credit. You don't mention it enough. But this could be 2021's biggest "I told you so" award winner. You from the very beginning, like I remember, Chaos, Dark, and I super stoked about it.
Yeah, I was like, okay.
Sparrow might have been there also, although I don't remember his stance on it. But I think he was also looking forward for it. Forgive me if I'm misquoting you. And you saw something. I don't know how you do it. Like sometimes you have these moments of like clairvoyance, and it's like you open your third eye, and you can tell that a movie's gonna be bad. It doesn't matter. You see through the marketing hype.
What was the Jupiter Ascending?
Jupiter Ascending.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Where you were excited.
I was like,
Dude,
you're crazy. This is from the makers of the Matrix, and look at the trailer. And they have Mila Kunis. Like, what more do you want?
I'll never forget that. You were leaving work and you were going with
Vero.
With Vero, yeah.
I was like, we were like,
you were super excited. I was like, all right, man, good luck with that.
You did not want to partake. It was like, what is? I think Another finally lost his cred. It's like he can't. He doesn't see. He doesn't remember the Matrix. Like this is gonna be one of those moments, and he's not gonna be here to share it with me. Like I don't know what's happening anymore. I don't know if I can stay friends with him. And no, you were the old sage, that warned us of the impending doom that we were running. You were like, no, you old fool. You should be retired. You don't know. You don't look at this greatness. Greatness awaits.
I saw the Mortal Kombat and don't get me wrong, I understood what people were excited about, and of course that's the fighting, right? And I was like, okay, yes, they have good fighting, but everything else in between, nothing really. And the movie is not. I will not go as far as say it's bad. It's not a bad movie, but it is very mediocre. And that's really the main issue with it, though. And the fact that it's number 4 on this list has now completely discredited this list. Just letting you know as we move forward here to number 3, which is 2019's Pokemon Detective Pikachu. And I kind of like this one. I'm not even gonna lie. You did? Yeah, yes, I kind of like this one. Yeah.
Yes, you did.
Of course, it had Ryan Reynolds. You can't go wrong with Ryan Reynolds,
Nope. I mean, you could, but it's Ryan Reynolds, so you'll forgive him because the guy's great.
Yeah, exactly. At some point, I was supporting Green Lantern until not very long. Not very long. Didn't take very long.
I don't know if I go that far. I mean, I haven't seen Green Lantern, but I have heard so many jokes of it on.
Yeah, it's not good. It's
no.
But Ryan Reynolds is good in it. Like he's just dynamic in what he plays, and you just kind of enjoy his character. So
yeah.
Anyway, so that's Detective Pikachu. Actually, I think it was pretty cool. Number 2, Werewolves Within 2021, also, which is a recent one. Yes. And I did rent this one, and I thought this one was actually good. I think I left it as going, this is actually a good movie.
I enjoyed it, but it was the least video game movie of all of this that have been mentioned. Like, there's nothing that made me think this could have been a game. I mean, except for the very obvious Ubisoft Pictures or whatever the hell is the logo.
Also, if you really think of the
it's
game,
like, whoa,
yeah, the game is it's not. I mean, it's nowhere near like nothing of the game can be seen other than the fact that someone's a werewolf in the crew, and you just have to kind of figure out. But you're sitting around a campfire. This is like a what do you call it? A VR game. You're sitting around a campfire and you just channeling people away and figuring out who's the werewolf within the group. And that's about the only thing that gets pulled into this movie, which is there's a werewolf. We got to figure out who it is, you know. But other than that, I think it was actually pretty cool.
I loved it. I mean, I liked it. I liked it a whole lot. I had a good time with it. It's not like the best movie or anything like that, but it was very entertaining for what it ended up being, and you know, funny, and yeah, I was completely down with that.
Cool. Yeah.
The fact that it's not like it's not trying to be, or it's not trying to be marketing for the game, or it didn't feel like it was. Honestly, I don't understand, because I have not heard of this game at all before. I mean, understand it's a VR.
It's a VR game. Yeah, we don't really play VR games. That's really why.
Right. But it was still like, I saw that trailer and I was like, oh yeah, I'm down with this. This still looks fun.
Yeah,
and it was.
Did
not disappoint.
Yeah, I agree with this. Was a good one. And then finally, number one should come as no surprise: 2020's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, okay. I was wondering where this was gonna show up. It's like, wait a minute, you have Detective Pikachu without having Sonic the Hedgehog, you know, and in no way I'm pretending to defend the movie, because I don't think
it's number one on this list, so clearly the bar is really high, isn't it?
You keep telling yourself that.
Oh my god. Yeah, so that is according to For the Win. And so it's like, okay, well, you kind of can tell that, you know, the bar has never really been high, and there have been good moments. There have been, you know, certain movies or properties that have, you know, delivered in a feel of some sort that almost feels like this is from the actual movie, or rather from the video game. But in the end, most of the time they fail, or they're just okay. You know, nothing's really blowing anybody away. And so, is it time? Well, I think it's time to look into the future, sir. So I have a list here of upcoming video game movies and TV series that are currently in development. And so we don't have to delve into each one of them because it's a significantly long list, but and a lot of them on this list are just mentions, meaning there was plans at one point to make a movie and have not been scrapped yet. So technically it's still out there. You know what I mean? So we could just skip over those real quick, but
that's fine. But I gotta let you know that I am disappointed because I did not hear some. So there should have been some mentions, some honorable mentions at the very least.
I mean,
on this list,
none, unfortunately.
Well, it is our job as reporters, which we are not, of mentioning those wonderful additions like Street Fighter.
Oh God, no!
Came out on 1994 and it made a worldwide box office of 90. Wait, is this a real number? I'm not even gonna read the numbers because I don't trust them. This one says 99, almost 100
million.
100 million?
Yeah, I can believe that.
I can believe that. That's an unbelievable number. Okay. So there's movies then that have made substantially worse.
You said the 90s one with Van Damme, right?
Yes. I'm not talking about the Legend of Chun-Li.
Yeah, I was gonna say, if you want one that's even worse, let me tell you about the Legend of Chun-Li, which is disgustingly horrible.
I wish I could actually. Let me see if. Oh yes, I can. I was gonna say if I can if I can order them, put them in order of the least ones that have made money, and of course that would have been Postal on 2007.
Wow, yeah.
146,000.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Damn.
Even though there has been some newer ones that have also kind of failed. Blood Rain came out, remember? That
I
made
did see Blood
3.5
Rain.
million.
Blood
You
Rain
did
was
see
it was a sad excuse for a softcore porn movie. Is what
softcore
that
porn
was.
movie?
Yeah, that's what that was. Yeah.
Well, then I bet somewhere here, I haven't seen it, but I bet somewhere here, Dead or Alive will be. Oh, yeah, here we go. 7.5 million, Dead or Alive, DOA.
Wow.
Tekken was also there. A Far Cry movie,
That's
743,000.
horrible. Assassin's Creed, remember Assassin's Creed 2016, I think it came out. Assassin's Creed with Michael Fassbender, which is, dude, Michael Fassbender is one of the better actors in. So let me just list to you who's the top three. Right, you're here. Michael Fassbender. I know. I hope you know who that is. I assume you know who that is.
Yeah.
Marion Cotillard, Jeremy Irons.
Jeremy Irons.
This is like, you don't know Marion Cotillard? She was
No.
you know her by face. She was in The Dark Knight Rises, the one who he falls for, and she was the one who was with Bane. That's Marion Cotillard. Anyway, this is like a crew. You know what I mean? And I'm like, man, this has to be no. That shit has an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes. Just letting you know.
Wow. You know, there's some we didn't mention. Oh, they didn't mention the Hitman and Hitman movie. I kind of saw recently when I had the itch to watch when I was playing Hitman. Actually, I watched
This is the one with Timothy Olyphant, right?
Yes. Yeah.
That wasn't bad. I mean, it's not great.
I didn't think they were. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I didn't think it was terrible. I still enjoyed it for what they were. Yeah. Prince of Persia. That was that Walt Disney joint, right?
Prince of Persia. Oh yeah.
The Sands of Time.
Was it the Sands of Time? Yeah, maybe it was the Sands of Time.
Yeah, Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time. Yep. If you look it up, you will remember the moment you see the poster, you're gonna be like, oh yeah.
Oh no, but was it the Sands of Time? I don't remember if it called the Sands of Time, but I guess that's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, Prince of Persia, the Sands of Time. Yeah,
I believe you. Let me see some honorable mentions here that I may have. The original Mortal Kombat, 1995, which was okay, and then of course Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which was utter crap. All of the Resident Evils.
All of the Resident Evils were just yes.
Oh, that's right. There was a Need for Speed, which had Aaron Paul.
Oh shit, that's right.
Yeah, that one.
I forgot about that one. That was not even on my list here.
Wow. Doom with The Rock. Doom, the Doom movie. Yeah, that was.
Dude, there was in 1999. There was a movie, Wing Commander.
Yes.
Which was directed by the famous scam artist Chris Roberts, the person in charge of what is it called? Citizen 20? No, what the fuck is that thing called? Star Citizen.
Yeah.
You know, the biggest illegal scam that is still ongoing. And yeah, that movie was super flop. That one had Freddie Prinze Jr.
Mm-hmm. One of his last things that he did, which is sad, really. Another one which I forgot to mention, which stars Mark Wahlberg, Mila Kunis, and that is Max Payne, 2008.
That's right.
Also had Ludacris in it, believe it or not. Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
How come that's on my list? Okay, was that terrible? Oh yeah, no, here it is. Yeah, Max Payne. You're absolutely right.
Max
Holy
Payne.
shit!
Yeah,
Max Payne. I should have seen that. I would. Did you watch that?
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
How was
it's just mediocre at best. Mediocre.
Yeah. Not even Mila Kunis could save Emma Wahlberg. I mean that's.
I mean, you know, seeing Mila Kunis is always a good thing, but.
Yeah,
no,
well, you better. They didn't convince you to watch Jupiter Ascending, huh?
It did not. And I think my wife ended up watching that on TV, back when we still had regular. It was like on FX or something like that. And I came in, just sat down for a little bit to see a little bit of it. I was like, "Yep."
You were like, "Nope."
I called that shit, didn't I?
This shit
Oh,
wanted to
man.
be the next best thing next to.
Oh yeah, this was the next
fifth,
Hunger
Fifth
Games or whatever.
Element.
Yeah.
And ended off super mega flopping.
It's a shame.
That's sad.
Not really. That's a shame. So yeah, looking ahead to the future, guys. I'm gonna
All
just
right.
start here with this one here on this particular list is Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, which technically is already out.
That's already out.
And we had.
And that sucked also.
I was gonna say I saw
2.5
a
million.
pretty scathing review by our very own Dark. Let me see if I can find that real quick because it's important to bring up at this moment. Let's see. I should have had this ready. That's my bad, guys. But
Forget what Rotten Tomatoes or any of the critics of any other had to say. Let's hear from a true critic, from a critic from the heart.
yes. Here we go. This is what he was saying. Okay. No, this. Oh yeah. Then I'm sorry. Going back a little bit further here. I'm looking at the video and everything I sent him. Okay, here we go. Okay. So he. Oh god, this is so good. Hold on, let me make sure I'm starting this right. Okay, so I pulled out $7, went to the theaters, and said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna watch Welcome to Raccoon City." This movie is a solid 1 out of 10. Solid. The amount of disrespect on the name of Resident Evil and the character is just a chef's kiss. As a normal movie, I wouldn't wait. As a normal movie, if I wouldn't know what the hell I was watching, it goes up to a 5 out of 10. And then from here, I have to play this. I don't know how I'm gonna play this, but I have to play this. Okay. I'm gonna include it here.
All right.
It here,
so
45 seconds of it.
An impromptu chaos tells it like it sees it. Surprise edition.
Oh, this is dark. Oh, yeah. This is dark.
Uh-huh.
This is dark. There was something about
this is dark. Oh, okay, my bad. Then dark is gonna double down.
Yeah. So needless to say, Resident Evil: Welcome to Raccoon City, not moving the needle in the right direction. I'm just telling you. The next one on the list comes out February 18th of next year, and that is, of course, Sony's Uncharted film, which, of course, stars Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Sir, what does your temperature check say on this particular one? Oh, by the way, it's directed by Venom's Ruben Fleischer. Oh,
well, I mean, judging by the fact that the movie should be called Uncharted, not Nathan Fillion, the fact the director, the fact that not even this kid, Tom Holland wanted to. I keep calling him this kid. He's probably like older than me. He doesn't even want to deal with it anymore. He's like already said like, nope.
He doesn't want to do the what is it that the stars do when they go on to like the late night shows and kind of talk about their movie that they're coming out. He doesn't want to do that shit.
Yes. That should set that tone, all right. When the actor, the main actor, the main protagonist himself is like, okay, I'm not going. You want to watch? You want to go? You go. Oh, you're home. I'm not going.
Yeah,
fuck this shit.
Yeah,
to the
I
premiere.
agree. This is definitely a red flag. I think we both see the red flags on this one. And
I'm not wasting my time. I mean, even
I'll see it when it comes out on like Prime or Netflix, probably Netflix. I feel like PlayStation and Sony and Netflix have some sort of deal, so it'll probably come to Netflix. But
only way I will see it if I don't hear anything catastrophic from it. If I listen to people that say like, I don't think it's great, but it's still entertaining.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be catastrophic. I don't think it's going to. I honestly think it's just going to be very mediocre.
Apparently, Tom Holland seems to think so. He doesn't even want to show his face in the premiere.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. Next one up, guys. Sonic the Hedgehog 2, scheduled to release on April 8th of 2022. Sir, you are pretty much the only one of us who basically.
I already got tickets. I mean, this one's gonna have Tails.
Is it gonna have Tails? Oh shit!
Yes.
Okay. Oh, I didn't know
Oh
that.
shit! Well, fuck.
Spoilers.
Spoiler alert.
Oh, it does say it here. Yeah, Idris Elba has been cast as is also going to have Knuckles, and Idris
He's gonna
Elba is
have
going to
Knuckles.
be voicing Knuckles, and then Sonic's pal Miles Tails Prowler is also expected to make his screen debut. How about that?
Sir,
Um,
if I were you, just get it over with.
oh, it's
So
on
that
my
you can-
list, bro. It's on my. It's literally it's on Hulu. The movie's on Hulu, and I have it in my to watch list there. So it's not I don't want to. I just I don't want to.
Exactly.
I don't want to put my wife through it, bro. I just don't want to do that. You know?
You want to watch it by yourself in a corner, maybe?
Yeah, you know, I'll just exactly.
Hide it from everybody. You don't want anybody to.
I don't want
Honey, what are
anybody
you
to know.
doing? Oh, I'm watching porn. No, that looked like Sonny the Hedgehog. It's like, no, I wouldn't watch Sonny the Hedgehog.
What kind of grab is that? I'm a grown ass man, dog.
Yeah, no. Why did it? I look. It looks like something furry. I was like, well, I'm watching furry porn and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. God, that's a thing
Exactly.
somewhere
That's the thing,
in Japan.
Don't
I think.
shame me.
Oh my god.
Sonny the Hedgehog. Wow.
The next one, Super Mario Brothers movie. What?
Nope.
December 21st of 2022. This is, of course, the one starring Chris Pratt as Mario.
Yes.
Anya
They have
Taylor
learned
Joy
nothing.
as Peach. Charlie
Now
Day
this is
as
gonna
Luigi.
be what?
Huh? This is yeah. So the cast is Chris Pratt again as Mario, Anya Taylor Joy as Peach, Charlie Day
Oh,
as
she's there
Luigi,
too. Okay.
Jack Black as Bowser, Keegan Michael Key as Toad, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, and so yeah.
That's quite a cast.
I agree, bro. But then when I go back to the Assassin's Creed, where I'm like, we're talking about Oscar caliber people here, and they couldn't freaking pull it off. I don't know, bro.
No, this is not live action.
It's not live action. Oh, it's
It's
animated, right? It's animated. It
Yeah,
has
it
to be
wouldn't
animated.
that's why I wasn't even counting it, because we didn't count any of the all the animation video game animations, like Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, that was on my list.
King's Maker.
Yeah, it
all
was
those-
on the list that I had going because the second list, because you brought up one
Yeah.
of your own. So yeah, it was on there. Just didn't mention the Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
What was
You
the
should
first
watch
one
that.
called?
That one's not bad. That was actually
The very first one, or
No, the
the
very first one, The Spirit Within. Hell
Yeah.
no. Fuck
Yeah.
that. I'm talking about King's Guard.
oh,
King's
I
Guard
did.
was
I did
good.
watch that. I watched that one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That was
Alright.
that. That was good.
Alright.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super Mario Brothers movie. We'll see.
Mario Brothers
We'll
movie.
see on that. Yeah. All right. So now it's time to get a little bit crazy, guys. The Minecraft movie, yes, previously set
Wait, but
for March 4th of 2022.
we're bringing animations though. I thought we were
It's
gonna
on the list, bro. What are you going to say?
If it's on the list, I guess canon.
I mean, Sonic the Hedgehog is not real life. I'm sorry to tell you this, bro. So,
Sonic the Hedgehog, it was live action.
I mean, sure, yes, it's live action, sir. But
There you go.
these are,
There you
I
go.
said, these are all the video game properties in development at the moment.
Okay.
So yes,
fine.
Minecraft, and I assume this better be, obviously this makes sense that it'd be animated. I don't know, bro. I
Yeah,
have no desire or don't even care about Minecraft and never played it in my life. So what do you think?
Mike. Well, first of all, that's on you for judging Minecraft so early, because Minecraft has its value. I'm not gonna lie. I had a lot of fun when I played it back in the day before Microsoft bought it and whatever. But a Minecraft movie, no, get the hell out of here. Like, who needs that? I mean,
Oh, get the hell out of
if
here.
it's gonna be an animation movie, then I can understand it. I mean, we live in the world where we have a movie about Angry Birds. So getting
that
a
was on the
movie,
list too, which I skipped, but yeah.
getting a movie, for Minecraft, it wouldn't be the worst thing. If anything, it's long overdue. Like, they better hurry up before Roblox beat them to the curve on that.
Yeah, well, it was scheduled for March 2022, but it says here due to the pandemic has been indefinitely delayed. So no actual to be determined. All right, we're getting into a little more crazy now. Cyberpunk Edge Runners, scheduled for 2022. This is a Netflix anime series.
No.
I
Now,
will.
at some point, I need to draw the line. We need to keep this on the realm of reality. If we're gonna talk anime bullshit, then there's gonna be a shit ton of movies that are gonna come out.
Well, I mean, there's a. Well, okay, all right. So we'll skip it. That is also coming. We don't have to say it. We don't have to say anything about it.
Oh, you can say you can mention it.
I can mention it and just move on. Yeah. This is an anime series. Next one is Tomb Raider 2, which will be a sequel to the 2018, even though that one received pretty mediocre reviews.
Really?
Yes.
How well did it made? I wonder.
I don't. They had to make something. MGM and Warner Brothers have teamed up on this one. They seem happy enough to move on with a sequel. Currently, or was set for March 19th of 2021, has been delayed, obviously, due to the pandemic. Alicia Vikander returns as Lara Croft. I don't know. I'm curious to see if they can improve on the first. First one wasn't bad. Like I said, it was all right. It was all right.
That movie made almost exactly the same as Lara Croft Tomb Raider, 2001's Tomb Raider.
Really?
Yeah, 274,650. No,
274,000.
Well, sorry, 274,000,000.
Oh, okay.
650,000 yarara versus 2001's Lara Croft 274,700 tarara. 274,700,000. God damn it! I don't know numbers. It's 1:00. Let's wrap this shit.
Okay, all right. Moving on. It's important to note that Netflix is also, of course, doing an anime series for Tomb Raider, and it will be voiced by Agent Carter's Haley Atwell. All right, then we're moving on. Assassin's Creed 2.
What?
Yeah.
Why?
That's actually happened. A sequel to the first Assassin's Creed movie was already in the works during the production of the first. However, but information about the follow-up is minimal, but it's still out there. And of course,
that shit's canceled.
It never is. That's the problem. It never is. And of course, Netflix has a series because why not? Borderlands movie,
Assassin's Creed series. It seems it lends itself more to a series than a freaking.
Well, this will be a live action series, for the record. Netflix has announced that it will produce a live action series with executive producer of Ubisoft, Jason Altman and Daniel Krennic, which will be the first of multiple projects. Live action series will be, quote, epic, genre bending, whatever. This is all bullshit talk right there. But so that's actually a live action series or not animation.
Okay.
We shall see. Borderlands movie we already know about, and that of course has Kevin Hart.
Yeah. That one's a lot. That was live action, and so far the casting has been has looked interesting.
Well, it was also announced back in 2016, and we're still waiting for the actual.
We're still waiting for. Well, a pandemic happened, so.
Well, I guess if they're going to use that excuse, we can use it too, right?
Listen, that was distributed by Lionsgate, so that should tickle your something already.
Okay. Yes. I guess that's a good thing because they generally don't distribute bad stuff. Okay, I'm gonna do a lot of quick hits here, guys. Gearbox is developing a live action series based on the Brother in Arms games. Not much is known about it other than the fact that Randy Pitcher is producing. Call of Duty. There are many that have been mentioned. The very last one had Sicario 2, not the first one. Sicario 2 director tied to it.
The bad one.
Carmen Sandiego. This will be a series coming to Netflix. Centipede, which was Movie Pass Films. You remember them? Movie Pass, yes.
Oh my God, they're still alive.
Apparently. And so that was a project that they had on their plate. Contra, which is obviously it's going to have a live action film.
There you go.
Filmed in China and produced by Beijing Starlit Movie and TV Culture.
Where is that coming? Is that a movie?
That's just a plan. These are I'm flying through these because they're all just plans. There's no even dates or anything yet. The Division, Deadpool 2 director David Light is set to helm this particular thing. Jessica Chastain and Jake Gyllenhaal are in leading roles. Duke Nukem, here we go with Gearbox again, has reportedly teamed up with Assassin's Creed producer to adapt the Duke Nukem movie. John Cena is rumored to star as Duke.
John Cena.
Uh,
Wow, do you really want to do that to your career, John?
Apparently.
That's like pouring yourself out at that point.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. Fallout by Westworld creators. It's a series coming to Amazon, and it is live
That
action.
could be
According to this,
interesting.
it could be. It could be. Fatal Frame, the popular survival series, is reportedly being adapted by Silent Hill director Christoph Gans.
Sure.
Firewatch, because why?
Oh.
2016.
Because
Yeah,
some of us
sure.
don't want to play the game. We just want to get the story. So.
The story is not that good. That's what I'm trying to say. Why are we even making this? That game came out and people were like, "Oh my god, have you played Firewatch?" I'm like, "Yes, I did," and it was good.
There you
Move
go.
on.
It's the most
God.
that we can expect from video game adaptations. You know, if it's good.
Yes,
That's a hit.
my god. Five Nights at Freddy's, currently set to work through the Blumhouse Productions.
Wow.
So we'll see if that comes out. This is a stupid one. Fruit Ninja in 2016 was reported as a live action family comedy. Still in the works. Gears of War film under Universal was announced all the way back in 2016. Currently has a new screenwriter. We'll see if anything comes out of that. Guardians of the Galaxy star Dave Bautista admitted he considered playing Marcus Phoenix. However, nothing solidified. Half-Life, the movie based on Half-Life series, in the works with J.J. Abrams. Still nothing yet as well.
Oh, that would have been awesome.
Halo. While there was a planned movie and such and stuff, we already know now that Paramount
series.
Plus is going to be coming. Yeah, exactly, the series. So we'll see about that. Heavy Rain was announced a while back, but never officially canceled. But let's be real, New Line Cinema hasn't said anything about that since. Just Cause, I'm skipping this one. Just Dance, definitely skipping this one. Kane and Lynch
just ended.
Yeah, Kane and Lynch. Last thing we heard was Gerard Butler and Vin Diesel was set to take on the two leads. The Last of Us, as we know, Last of Us movie is in development hell. Was in development hell, and then suddenly the movie. Remember, it was a movie, but now it got transitioned over to an HBO series. Set to release next year, and we know Bella Ramsey as Ellie and Pedro Pascal as Joel. Sir, this one here, I do want to stop for a second and say, I have faith in this one. HBO is pretty good at selecting, properties and doing them right. Maybe not ending them right like Game of Thrones, but for the most part, they do things.
For the most, no, for sure, no doubt.
Yeah. Mass Effect series, you just mentioned that before. Mega Man was mentioned way back, but nothing's mentioned since. Metal Gear Solid does have a script, but movie hasn't been dated yet. Metro 2033.
They're gonna be.
Metro 2033 is currently on hold, but screenwriter Scott Frazier, basically for what do you call it, creative differences. So we'll see if anything comes out of that. Pokemon Detective Pikachu #2, Legendary Pictures announced a sequel. But of course, many things have happened since, and we haven't heard. Portal, like Half-Life.
Wow.
A movie based on Portal was in the works with J.J. Abrams, but the status is still on hold.
Also, I feel like Valve is just like begging J.J. Abrams to do something with her.
Yeah.
Like, come on, man. We'll give you. Yeah, we don't want to make that the sequel. Just let's make a movie.
Shinobi, Scott Pilgrim producer Mark Platt was poised to adapt Shinobi, but we haven't heard anything since for some time. 2016 is when this was announced. Silent Hill sequel. There's always a Silent Hill sequel because they keep coming. The very first one was the best one. There was a follow-up to Silent Hill. It was not good. It was not good. Yeah, there was 2 Silent Hill movies. The first one was good. I still stand by the first one. Second one, no. The Sims, currently a project under 20th Century Fox. However, we all know they got bought by freaking Disney, and Disney like, no fuckers, we're not doing that shit. Or at least so far, because nothing's been said. Final 3, Sleeping Dogs adaptation was announced in 2017, however, has gone silent. Donnie Yen has still said on his Instagram account that it's still happening.
Are it still happening?
Yep.
I don't know about that.
Tetris. In 2016, Tetris producer confirmed he's planning a sci-fi trilogy around the Tetraminos. No one knows how this is going to work, and we're still waiting for an update. And then finally, Watch Dogs. Watch Dogs movie was announced in 2013 and has been in development hell. There was an update in 2016 stating it's still happening. Yeah, man, that's everything we have.
Isn't that enough?
I would argue we don't need more than half of that shit. You know what I mean?
There's some movies that us gamers are like, no, enough is enough. It doesn't need to happen. No one asked for this.
Yeah, not like this.
Just like no one asked for the battle. What was that movie based on the board game?
Battleship?
Battleship movie. Yes. No one wanted that.
Did you? Yeah, that'd be the Battleship movie, right? Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, well, I mean that's kind of the future we have at the moment. I think the highlights are definitely, well, just one really, Last of Us probably, and Sonic the Hedgehog
and
2.
Borderlands,
and Borderlands. Yeah. Those are the possibilities. Everything else really is. I think more of the same would be the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
Based on the top 10 list I had a moment ago. So, but anyway, thanks so much for tuning in, guys, to an awesome episode 290. Once again, please go if you haven't to goodgame.rocks. Join the conversation there, and of course, please like, subscribe, and share the podcast with everyone. This is Mad Dog signing off this week. Mr. David Santos, take us home.
I'm going to ask that you all do yourself a big favor. Go to Netflix right now and start watching Arcane. It is really good.
For the record, and I didn't mention this before, I've already watched it twice, the whole series. So, throwing that out there.
For the record, you didn't have to say it. We all already knew. Yes.
Yeah, you know what? I'm all right with that. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. GG!